This is an emergency broadcast on all YouTube bulletin stations. There is currently a massive emergency. Please panic and run around like your knickers are on fire. Remember to stay tuned to the Gooner channel for further updates. There is currently an emergency. Arsenal have yet to sign any significant players. All the players you want are as yet unsigned. Please.
It's not strictly true, is it? It's not strictly true. Everybody's really happy. It's a rare time in the Arsenal world, in the Arsenal universe, where everybody's happy outside, dancing in the streets of joy. I exaggerate somewhat. Choose love, choose life, choose football, choose the Gooner channel, choose the Adams Arms Tuesday Club. A speakeasy, a hostelry for the hopeful, a place where football is still fun and there's lots to talk about. Don't let them tell you that Gyökeres has fallen through. This is a man who forced his agent to give up his commission just so he could come and play Arsenal, at Arsenal, I should say, for the Arsenal. Other news, Ethan Nwaneri's looking good. I mean, he has been looking good forever. But he wants to stay. Of course he wants to stay. He wants to stay because where else would you go? It's cooking. Berta is cooking. It's a phrase. They're funny. Like he basically joined our club in March. And from March to July, it's panic, worry, concern. Why aren't we doing business? They let us on with Kepa. Aretha Balaga. Trying to say it properly. Sean, that one's for you. Kepa Aretha Balaga. We signed... Everyone going mad. Why are we signing a goalkeeper? Why are we signing the world's most expensive goalkeeper for a fraction of his price? Why? It's not good enough. We need a striker. We need a bagsman. We need a goal machine. And then as if Andrea Berta is just sort of playing us a little bit like turntables. In comes Christian Norgard. Don't want him. Why do we want him? He can't score goals. He's rubbish. We don't want him. Then, of course, Zubimendi came in. And everyone was like, well... We've known that for ages. No fun. We want surprises. We want big name players. Then the whole thing becomes about Benjamin Šeško, and all of the people who've actually watched him play and done the analytics and like him and think he's a great potential as well as being good right now. Shout it down. He doesn't score enough goals. We want Gyökeres. And then the masterstroke. Then they throw in the Madueke. Oh, my God. Meltdown. Meltdown, brain cells exploding, petitions, spray cans out. Had to be, didn't it? And then, of course, Gyökeres. It's the one you wanted. It's the guy you wanted. I'm going to talk about it a little bit later because I feel very strongly that once they got the shirt on, you got to show them love. Nothing but love. Nothing but love will do. And that is what I will show Victor Gyökeres. There's lots to like him for, but I do have my doubts and concerns. And I want to pick your brains, Adam's Arms faithful, because nobody knows better than you guys. Is he actually going to be a bagsman? And I'm not using that phrase again. I can hate it. Is it too late to change our mind and get Šeško? What about Victor Osimhen? All those kind of things. But basically, the mood is good at the moment because it seems like Arsenal have gone out and got all the players everybody wanted. We needed a backup goalkeeper. We lost Jorginho, and I can't remember his name, the other defensive midfielder who never at Arsenal. But anyway, we lost two defensive midfielders, so we only got two. We got Norgard, who's captain of a mid-table Premier League team, proven, all the same stats as the outgoing player. We also signed Zubimendi, who, despite being understudy to Ballon d'Or winning Rodri in the Spanish national team, who've not been unsuccessful, despite being wanted desperately by Liverpool, despite being of interest to Barcelona, Real Madrid, Manchester, everybody, right? Despite that, as soon as we signed him, turns out he's not very good at all. And it's been decidedly underwhelming. I don't know if it's because he's messed us around a little bit or seemed to have. But in any case, we got Zubimendi through the door, which I'm really excited about. Is Eze next? Is this deal for Gyökeres actually falling apart? Most of the in the knows, the proper kind of people you trust, the Ornstein bombers, the here we go, all of those guys, including myself at the Adams Arms, done and dusted, which hasn't really taken off. But then, I don't have any inside information, much like many of the people we read every day. there's still room for Rodrigo. There's an Edu Rodrigo. Anyway, look at the comments building up. God, there's a lot of you in, and thank you for your comments. I want to get to the comments that Red Eye Guna left on the video I did yesterday. Several others of you, Zanzi, I see you're here. But first, we go direct to Kermit's middle finger. Now, don't frogs only have 3 fingers anyway? Just suddenly occurred to me. But Ribbit, Gyökeres. And Zanzi with evening, Kermit. How's Miss Piggy today? Had some prime. Oh, dear. Big up DJ Dan and man like Berta in it. Bam. Famalam, thank you for the love. Hey, Zanzi and all the legends in the chat. Indeed, legends. Look at this. Malia, look at this. Mr. Tom. Bloody hell. Did you shit the bed? Hey, yo, I'm on time for once. Go get up early, man. Good stuff. Great to see you, by the way. Malia with lots of dancing emojis. Zanzi says hi to Idrissa Dam is here. Great to see you. Mr. Tom, F me, Tom. You're an early bird. And Chris Hintonio. Eze Gyökeres, yes. So I see some excitement in there. Let me know. So you are a fan of Gyökeres. Is he definitely going to knock goals in? I've got 16 goals I reckon he'll score in the league in his first season, which is not a bad return. Certainly better than we used to. How are you doing? I'm good. Hope you are too. Evening, landlord. I'll have a pint of have we got a striker and a packet of bugger me? I think we have, please. And you won't be getting that. I'm 30 years old. Today? Generally? Well done. I'm 51. I win. You're the best person ever. Who is? Me? You just damn like I said, young fella. Oh, I think he's talking to Zanzi. Flirt away, you two. Media crap. Media crap and 2 very lovable emojis. Media crap indeed. Let's talk about me, in which case, get out. Hello to Gary DWTT, which reminds me, I will put a link up. Hello, Gary. I'm not worried about Gyökeres at all. No, I don't think we should be. Evening, Gary, says Zanzi. And big up, Dan Mobbos. Wonderful to see you, sir. You're a fan of Gyökeres, aren't you? Mosquera announced tonight. This is the signing we all wanted. I mean, it's not a window. Honestly, Kepa, Norgod, Madueke, Mosquera, these are all players I don't think, but it does feel like Andrea Berta has been through what we need and gone and got it. Can't argue that. Very pleased with him. Thank you. Adverts off tonight. I'm not subjecting any of you to adverts. I'll find another way to keep the lights on. But evenings, if you could maybe watch all the videos I put out and stick likes and share them with your friends, that might pay for everything. But Gary says evening, Zanzi. Tonight's dress code was Steven Seagal. Well done, Dan. Thank you so much. Those of you who don't know, Rosie is my fashion correspondent. She keeps a close eye on all the T-shirts I wear. And if I'm wearing a fun shirt that I enjoy, she lets me feel bad about it. It's brilliant. It's like Mean Girls, very own Mean Girls. What, Trinity and Susanna? That's what I meant. Trinity and Susanna if they were Glaswegian and probably win a knife fight. Rosie, getting love. Rosie is the best. I'm really good, Rosie. So here we go. All this chatting to each other doesn't need to be read out by me, does it? Galvo's here. Thank goodness. Great window. Hopefully Eze to finish. I hope so too. Eze or Rodrigo would definitely do it. I actually am veering towards Eze just because, much like what I love about Victor Gyökeres, you've got to love anyone who really wants to come to the club. However, I think you'll have to see a sale of a fan favourite to balance books, possibly next summer. Saliba would make sense. Sad to say. I don't think it would make sense. I don't think it would make any sense to sign him on a long time. I don't think he's going. But, you know, we'll have a year to talk about that. And I'll clip this if you end up being right. So, how was your beautiful day today, Zanzi? Everyone wants to know how Zanzi's getting on. I'm here too, you know. Hola, Rosie. And then there's a lot of all this. But I'm almost caught up. Cole's here. Big up, everyone. Massive elevations. It is it's a horrendous heat, apparently, according to Rosie. I don't know if you can have a... It's not that hot. Come on, people. They are close to Gyökeres. Arsenal play in 8 days. It is indeed. Ah, look, Russ Morgan's here. Evening all. I think I've caught up. Let me do the bits. Let me do the sharey bits that if you do want to come on, you're more than welcome. Keep it interesting. I don't care if you keep it clean. I just want to keep it interesting. Like, we are competing with every other YouTube channel, and a lot of them are getting boring. Honestly, one thing this week, I've not seen some of these people smile ever before. I don't know what to do. It's really interesting, isn't it? Seeing people like Turkish on AFTV actually smiling, actually looking happy that we've signed Gyökeres. I'm worried about this. I'm going to have a little moan and a whinge and a gripe and a snipe and a whatnot. Excuse me while I pour myself a fizzy drink. It's just cordial and sparkling water. Don't worry about my health. I'm good. I'm officially on the wagon until September. Fun, isn't it? Isaac to Liverpool. Yes, lots of people talk about this. I don't see it myself, but I've been wrong about things before. Nafe's here, currently smashing a Mackie D on an industrial estate in Chelmsford. Be home soon. I hope that's not a euphemism. But it doesn't sound glamorous, your life at this point. Get yourself home, get yourself settled, and enjoy. We're doing a 2-hour show tonight till 12:30. I cannot and will not stay up any later. Eze, Rodrigo, or both? I just asked that question. Great minds think alike. Fools rarely differ. I'm going Eze just because he wants it so much. He wants it that much. You're competing with all non-emergency streams. I know. Are they still doing emergency streams? All I'm seeing now is Berta cooking. It's funny, isn't it? Like they all lost their shit because at the end of June we hadn't signed anyone and we were getting left behind. And now we've started. Everyone's getting that kind of fatigue. Like, oh, we've signed too many people. Oh. And it's going to be hard now. It's going to be hard to go through the rest of the transfer window because it's a while to go. I mean, it's 8 days to our first game, but the transfer window doesn't close until September. I don't think we're bringing in substantial extra players, although, of course, we do have to see some players go out. We are likely to see the exit of Zinchenko, Fabio Vieira. Remember him. So there's at least a couple going. Horrible feeling Kivior's on the way out as well. It is what it is. We'll probably get good money. You should try eating it, Nath. Very, very good. Why are you worried about Gyökeres as an Arsenal player? I'm not worried. It's not that I'm worried. It's just I think, look, this is everyone's so excited. It worries me when people are so excited about a player they've never seen play. All right. I mean, we watched him play against us. He wasn't that amazing. You wouldn't have picked him out of that game. I saw him play a really decent game against Man City, but one swallow doth not a summer make. I feel like once he's got the shirt on, I won't be able to say any of those things, but there's an itch in me that kind of wants to say, I told you so. Comparing him with Šeško is kind of silly because there are lots of reasons why Šeško seems to be holding out for the best deal he can get, and he doesn't seem as keen to come to Arsenal. But I've watched a lot of Gyökeres in clip form. I haven't watched whole games because you can't really. He plays in Portugal. Someone was on the 12th Man stream earlier that I watched a bit of saying, you know, he's the top striker in Europe's top 5 leagues. And, well, he isn't, is he? He's a top striker in Europe's top 15 leagues. Where does Portugal sit? Is Portugal, given its allocation at the World Club Cup, probably behind Austria? I would like to point out that if Sporting are playing in the Portuguese league, Austria in roughly sort of similar league levels than Šeško was doing it there. Šeško is considerably younger. Let's face it, Gyökeres wasn't banging in goals at this point. I do like his enthusiasm, and I like, but he scored one header in the last 6. I haven't seen him score a header. So why is that? Why does he always seem to score his goals coming in off the left and cutting in against defenders who don't seem to be able to marshal him at all? Is he as good a hold-up player as Kai Havertz? I'm not convinced, frankly. I don't know. Dan, will the fans finally raise the standards? A title is a must. Well, it's not on us, is it? It's not on us to raise the standards, but you have reminded me. I did want to cover it. Thank you so much for those of you who watched the video I did yesterday. I was trying to get a grip on why Arsenal fans are so angry. Do check it out. It's obviously on the channel link. Obviously not now because we're doing this now, but in a bit. Just realised, was the quiz not supposed to be tonight? Damn you, Rosie, and your infernal memory. I've got Zanzi here. I'll get him to... Zanzi, are you there? Come up from the...
Oh, sorry. I fell asleep in the green room, mate.
Wait, were you not listening, Zanzi?
I was. But do you know why Gyökeres was not training?
Lazy?
No, he's in the cellar with Nonny. Yeah. So we went over there, mugged him, took his phone. Well, we haven't mugged him. kidnapped him. He's in the cellar with Nonny. We had his phone, and we're typing in all these messages like, "Oh, I want to come to Arsenal," blah blah blah, and that's why.
Were you his agent? Did you waive your £5 million fee? Because I don't think you should have done that.
No, but I sent a message to his agent, and he said, oh, "Okay, then."
Okay, well done, you.
Yeah.
How have you been since? It's only a couple of days since I saw you, isn't it? Well,
yeah, absolutely bugger all since then, really.
Keeping busy as ever. So,
yes.
Right, you are the best YouTuber channel ever. I think that's true.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm surprised I don't hear that more often. But Idris Adam, that is the best comment of the night. I think that's going to be the best comment of the night. You win. Zanzi, are you configured to perhaps run a quiz for Fandabi Rosie
tonight?
Tonight is as good a night as ever, isn't it? I did promise tonight. I would hope that you would be able to keep my promises for me.
General knowledge or carnal knowledge? Because you said it doesn't matter if we're rude or not.
I don't know how many of those questions our regulars would get right, though, Zanzi. Can we just Rosie's saying any quiz besides Arsenal, and Malia has said, yeah, let's do a rom-com quiz. Let's not do a rom-com quiz. But what about, Rosie, can we meet in the middle, Malia? Can we do general knowledge? General knowledge.
Oh, you also, you said one swallow doesn't make a summer.
I said one swallow doth not a summer make.
Yes, depends who's doing the swallowing, mate. And on that, I should go and have a look for a quiz question.
Yeah, go and find a quiz. Turn this into some sort of profanosaurus. We could do the quiz Thursday. No, we're doing it tonight, Rosie. Like, you speak and we listen. I'm going to put some background music on it. There's a new, I've got a new Tuesday Club tune, which I'm testing out. Let me know what you think of this, guys. It's a sort of, it's a hip hop vibe, that sort of thing. That music.
Dust settles, moonlight sharp like a blade. Tuesday club door swing, cool cats invade. Rosie at the helm, a queen with no crown. Snaps fingers once the whole room quiets down. Jackets leather.
Yeah, we're gonna have this Bentley on in the background. I really like it so far. It's one of those. It's kind of background music a bit, but I will be releasing a video. That's a bit too background, isn't it? I did want to just quickly cover off those of you who were kind enough. I know Zanzi was one such, but also Red Eye Guna. I've got really good comments, and by that I mean really intelligent comments on the video I did yesterday, trying to explain the phenomenon of angry Arsenal fans. And so do give that a watch if you're interested in why I think, and it goes into psychology of why people are a bit grumpy on Arsenal. And I know people say, oh, they are across YouTube, but we definitely have the angriest fans. And so I wanted to just quickly go through some of the comments because there's some really good ones in there. And I want to start off with Red Eye Guna, who I haven't seen live for a while, but it always makes me happy to see that he's been watching. And he came in with, I think, one of the best comments. So if I can find it, I think you're probably right also about your point that some fans having mundane lives, etc. I think you missed out that these people only have a few spare hours a week, a few spare quid, and barely any spare energy, and they're giving it to the club, spending their money, buying the shirt and giving up their time. So they might be feeling like their effort wasn't being matched by the people in charge. When it comes to spending money, making signings and actually backing up what they're asking us to believe, they wanted us to be excited. So you've got to give us something to be excited about. If you want us to buy shirts, give us a name to put on it. If you want us to buy tickets, give us some good football to watch. They kept saying it's coming, just wait. Next window, January, summer, January, war chest, it's coming, etc., etc. I guess people got to the point where they were feeling kidded on, being taken for a ride. But now it looks like they might actually be putting their money where their mouth is. So let's see. It doesn't guarantee us a trophy, but it means I can fully get behind our campaign. And if we don't win one, then fine. Personally, the thing I was always most proud of was our style of football. Being invincible is awesome. Winning titles is awesome, but it's our football that we played. And when we weren't winning titles, Wenger ball was a joy to watch. Telling people you're an Arsenal fan usually came with the response of how they didn't support us, but they love to watch us. Or how Arsenal was their second favourite team or favourite English Prem team, etc., etc. We moved away from that in search of trophies. In short, so if that's what they're saying the aim is, and that's what we should be excited about, trophies, okay, sound awesome. Show me you're serious about by getting players. because the football hasn't been great to watch at times. And up until now, it wasn't just obvious that they were serious about trophies and ambition. Now, finally, if this window pans out like it's being reported, then I'll believe they're serious about this campaign. I can fully get behind that. Win or not, you play cards, Dan. All I'm saying is if you want to go all in, at least give me some good cards. Stop asking me to shove with King 9 offsuit. Not a bad hand to shove. Heads up, anyway. Win or not, you play cards. Give me a pair of aces or fours, etc. We already know that Liverpool are on a hot streak and City are cheating. Now Chelsea have just cleared out another table and come over to ours with a big stack. I want to go all in. Just deal us some decent hand. I love this comment. I love this comment a great deal because it touches on a few things that I don't think I necessarily got across. First of all, I understand that some of you became Arsenal fans in an era where we're known for beautiful and attractive football. It was not thus for me. I was an Arsenal fan in the George Graham, boring Arsenal, 1-0 to the Arsenal. We were industrial. We had great players, but we played the ball high in the air, hit and run, up to Alan Smith, knocked down goals from... So, it isn't part of any team's entitlement to say that they always play good football. There are times where it clicks and there are times where it doesn't, and that's contingent on managers and players. In terms of buying players, spending money, I find it difficult because we have spent money. We have built an entire squad, a brand new squad from start to finish. There's only Gabriel Martinelli and Bukayo Saka left of the team that he first took over. So we have entirely built a team. And it's probably fair to say that just like George Graham, he built it from the back forward. But we have played exciting football. We have had things to be excited about. Last season, 5-1 against Man City, 7-1 against PSV. We managed to beat teams fairly convincingly, and that includes Real Madrid, both home and away. We haven't won trophies, but we've come as close as you can come, etc. Now, so there's that. So I don't necessarily think that, and also like he's making a point. Now, I was talking about how a lot of people take out the fact that they don't have agency in their own lives on football, and they try and manipulate their surroundings in football because they're not happy with their surroundings in real life. And I think that if you're hoping that football will transform your view of yourself and the world and how you feel, you're asking too much of it. Promises were not made by Stan Kroenke. I don't think he cares about any of us. And I think if you think that's a revelation or you're in shock that a man who bought a football club as an investment doesn't come to watch the games, not really from Holloway, is he? So, like, the fact that he sees it as a business enterprise, unfortunately, that's just the world of football. All we can hope is that the person who buys our club doesn't ruin it. Man United could be so much worse, couldn't it? But then the real point here, and I love that he remembers I'm a card player. Perhaps I go on about it too much. But this point you make here, you play cards. All I'm saying is if you want me to go all in, at least give me good cards. That's not how it works. The good players push with what we call position. They wait for the right position and they go in when it's right to do so. But if I sat around and only played the best cards when I was dealt them, I couldn't win a tournament. I couldn't win a cash game. You have to know how to play with what you're dealt. Now, in January, I think we saw that with Mikel Arteta. He clearly wanted a striker or a forward. He didn't get one. So he did the best he could. And he got us to the semi-final. A lot of people out there criticise Mikel Arteta for not buying a striker. But do you really think that? Do you really think that he's saying, I don't want a striker? Or do you feel like Edu let him down? Certainly, this transfer window is different in the notable sense that it's being run by Andrea Berta. Andrea Berta, who has a great track record buying strikers, buying forwards, changing transfer policies. The way he does things is different. We've all learned that, I think, in the few weeks that transfer window's been open. He doesn't have one target, he goes for two and he plays them off against each other. At the start of the day, I was watching a fan forum and they were saying, why are we haggling? Why don't we just spend whatever Sporting want? And it's like, well, there's a very good reason why we're haggling, and that's to save money. You know, that's what haggling is. It's an attempt to save money, right? And I don't hate that. I don't hate that at all, because if we save 5 million on the Gyökeres deal, that will pay for a goalkeeper. But more than anything, I am so honoured to receive such a long and very well written comment. Zanzi, you did a similarly good one, but I may come back to that. And then there's some that are not so good. And then there's Patman, who I love this. People who really don't like this channel, but comment on everything. They simply believe they're not receiving what they were promised. No one promised you shit. Moving to Highbury too soon was a mistake from which Arsenal may never recover. Look, I just want to touch on this because there's always people who weren't there. November 99, we made the decision to move to Highbury because there was 38,000 people we made the decision to move to the Emirates because there were only 38,000 capacity at Highbury. And for European games, that went down to 33,000 because you need an extra layer of the front row for hoardings, advertising. Can't see how we couldn't at the time where gate receipts was such a big part of your income as a football club. We could not see how we could compete with teams like Manchester United who were making 70% more than us every single match day from having a bigger stadium. So we borrowed the money to build the Emirates, and that tied up our money for 20 years. But I think you can say, I don't think you say we may never recover from it. It's not like we're in League Two. Anyway.
I think we've recovered from it already.
Well, yeah, but this is his point. They simply believe that they're not receiving what they were promised. I'm going to do a silly voice because it sounds like a silly voice to me. They simply believe they will not receive what they were promised. And moving to Highbury too soon was a mistake from which Arsenal may never recover, while other clubs that are doing it now will achieve more positive outcomes. There are few clubs that have a divine right to trophies, and they are Liverpool, Manchester United, and Arsenal. What? Like, what the hell do you mean that Liverpool, Arsenal, and Man United have a divine right? You don't have divine right implies that God is going to call the FA and say, "What are you playing at? It's Arsenal's time for a trophy. I don't want blue teams winning it." There's no divine right to anything. It's a competition. You step up, you do your best, as people never tire of telling me. Elite level sports is about silverware. Well, it's about doing your best to win silverware and not cheating and playing by the rules and giving everything you've got. But it's not only the ones that win silverware. I mean, seeing the person who comes runner-up in the Wimbledon final and telling them they're not an elite level sports person seems stupid to me. Right.
Elite level sports to me is being at the table to compete.
Yeah, exactly. In the arena, as Roosevelt puts it.
I do love your pink gin though, mate.
This is a tropical. It does look beautiful, doesn't it? It's fizzy water and cordial. I'm literally, whatever. You're not going to believe me.
I on the wagon, are
I know, but I have been recently. Hey, AJ's here, thank goodness. Apparently, Noni Madueke wears the number 14 shirt. Don't do that. Don't start that. Waiting for tonight. Well, when would you be here in my arms? Boy Tendio, you are a legend. Film quiz from Idrissa Dam. I don't even know why I'm taking. I ain't getting any points. Yeah, you didn't do well, but then I seem to remember you did really well and not so well. So who knows? We should do a film quiz. I'm terribly bad with pop culture. Terribly bad should be a word. I love it. Bars. Good evening, all, says Richard Andrews. Very good evening to you, sir. We've already played at Club Bruges at the start of July and played Middlesbrough at the 26th, Adam. Oh, Rangers, bless you.
Who?
Rangers. They're New
Queen's
York
Park.
Rangers. They're a hockey team from New York.
Oh.
I am the angriest. You've written angriest wrong. I am the angriest fan. I wish you were. They were angrier than you. I hope you're well. I'm well. Me angry. I love him. How about a football mixtape? Would you buy that? Mate, yeah, why not? I'm making one. What do you mean, would I buy one? Great to see you, Retro Music Man. I said this last time, but if you haven't checked out Retro Music Man's channel, what are you waiting for? It will put a smile on your face. It will make you happy. And some of you do still like being happy, don't you? Yes, thank you, Rosie. Hope you're well too. Where's Striker? Striker soon come. We should do quiz Thursday night down. We can have a theme and have it organised. Everyone will be here.
I've got it already organised, Rosie. Be quiet.
I do like a suggestion of Thursday though. Should we do it? What did you have organised? General knowledge.
I just got an A to Z quiz. It's all sorted out.
Oh, wonderful. Definitely Thursday then. Rosie, you are my favourite person. She's everyone's favourite person. Getting weird, Idrissa Dam. I thought I was your favourite. Here's a good question, Rosie. Who scored Arsenal's first ever Champions League goal? Didn't we have that recently? Rob, didn't we have that recently? I want to say it was Gilberto Silva, Edu, someone like that.
Is this
There's
Champions
Rosie.
League or is this European Cup?
Maybe, no, Champions League. Well, here's a good question. Who scored Arsenal's first ever Champions League goal? Oh, mate. Good question. I'd have to look that up. I was probably there as well because it was at Wembley, wasn't it? Okay, that's out of the way. So what are everyone's thought on octopus? Well, eating it, can't eat it. Can't eat it, sadly. It's too intelligent to eat. Hang on, what are we doing? Everything's blowing up. All my socials are blowing up. Okay, let's get I'm gonna have to. I'm reading messages. Zanti, tell us a story or something for a moment, will you?
I want to tell you a story. Who did that? It's Matt Spygate, wasn't it?
Yeah. You need hands, which takes me to this point. I think most Arsenal fans would tilt very easily in a poker game. I would love. Do you know what? Let's do it. I would love to play some of these angry, ranty, shouty, can't be. When you talk about in poker, every penny you don't lose is a penny you haven't got to earn. And when I hear people going, "Why are we haggling? Just give Sporting whatever they want." Why the hell would we do that? On general principle, we don't just give them whatever they want. But I do have to say, look, if you are Gyökeres' agent, you are stealing a living, aren't you? If you thought that having a handshake with a billionaire when he says, "You can take my word for it, we don't need that in writing," and you're the agent who went, "Look, he said his word is his bond," then you no wonder you gave your fee back. Right, come on, Dan. We smashed our stadium to compete with the likes of Real Madrid and Bayern Munich. So Peter Hillwood promised us this. I want to address this because I was there. What really, and I know you're sort of tongue-in-cheek. I think we're being tongue-in-cheek though. Because to be fair, we are competing with those clubs. Our financials are in the top 10 in Europe, and they wouldn't be if we had stayed at Highbury. I miss Highbury more than anyone. I loved it. It was my home. I can't believe it. It breaks my heart that we're not there anymore. But I was a pragmatist, and you think how difficult it was getting tickets to Highbury. Something like 9 million people have gotten to go and see a live game because we moved. That's important. But we didn't move because Peter Hillwood came out and said, guys, if we move, we'll be European champions. It's not that easy. Ajax had moved stadium 2 or 3 years before us. They haven't been European champions. We moved from the stadium because at the time we moved, there was no Roman Abramovich yet. We did not know in 1999 that there was going to be so much money coming into football through television rights and through commercials. We did not know that then, and it wouldn't have been fair to expect us to be that prescient. So we did what seemed natural, which was try to compete with the stadiums of bigger clubs like Manchester United. And we realized that we couldn't just nick the money. We couldn't just do a West Ham and wait for them to build a stadium and then squat it. We had to build our own stadium, and we couldn't do it in some poor part of North England like Middlesex. We had to do it in the heart of London, the best bits of London, North London. It cost a fortune. It saw us lose all our players. But it wasn't because Peter Hillwood came out and said, if we do this, we will win the Champions League. He basically said, if we don't do this, we can't compete with the big clubs in Europe. And that's just the case. And if you thought that those Arsenal fans like me and Zanzi, who were around at the time, thought we were going to be giving up our home, our spiritual home, for trophies, then you're wrong. I never dreamed that Arsenal would win the Champions League just because we moved stadiums. I thought that we were growing in the right direction, but I knew how hard it was to get tickets. And I knew that we had so many people on the waiting list for season tickets. I genuinely thought if we built a 60-something thousand seater stadium that people would all be able to get season tickets. Look how far we've grown since then. Look at our global fan base. We still can't get season tickets, and we're having to expand the stadium again. More on that as we get news in on it. But this idea that we smashed our stadium, it's still there, by the way. The facade is still there. The pitch is still, obviously it's not the pitch, but the area where the pitch was, and a lot of the structure of Highbury is still there, visible.
The old stadium was just over 38,000, wasn't that?
38,000, yeah.
Yeah, it would now rank as the 21st biggest stadium in England.
Yeah, my brother put it brilliantly. We were having a long conversation about it, and I was saying to him, I'm doing a video about what would have happened to Arsenal if we hadn't moved stadium. He said, we'd been Everton. I thought, well, that's exactly what happened to Everton. They didn't move stadium. So, all right, I'm sorry that we haven't won enough trophies for you. But to come back to the points where people go, we were promised. If you're the sort of idiot who thinks someone can promise you the Premier League or the Champions League, then I've got a bridge for you. London Bridge is available. Our payment terms are reasonable. Look at this. Gary's here. Are you dressed, Zanzi? Are you dressed?
Hang on.
He doesn't care. That's the one. Gary, how are you, mate?
Hello.
I was
Hello,
watching
Dan.
you guys very late into the wee small hours last night when I was trying to edit my video. Good chat and banter you've been responsible for.
Thank you. We try to have fun and try to hopefully give out some information that's beneficial to those who want to listen.
No, that's no one wants to listen. Least of all.
Yes.
I mean, no one wants to listen. Least of all, Zanzi.
Nice boy, but doesn't listen to a word you say.
Hello, Zanzi.
Gary, how you doing, mate?
Doing good.
Got the curtains.
Everybody in the chat, thanks for joining us.
Yay.
I decided to expand and push the message out to my masses, which is probably more like, I don't even know if I have the A.
I'm worried that we're going to need to tear down the Adams Arms and build an all-purpose stadium to compete with the other channels. But if we do it, people of the Adams Arms, I promise you silverware. We will have forks and knives. Benjamin Idris Adam, who's kind of like our news feed, has said, but Benjamin Sheshko's stance after new Saudi Pro League link remains the same as in June. Total focus on European football. Sheshko wants to. I don't care. To be honest, sorry, not offense. Point idea, we're close, but people's expectations are too high. I still think the only realistic chance we had was 22-23 season, and it all clicked with Jacob. Don't recognise that name. And Odegaard. I think we never know. This is one of the reasons we keep coming back to football, isn't it? Because you don't know what's going to happen. Liverpool fans didn't think they were going to win it last season. I'm not convinced we're going to win it this season, but I'm going to cheer us on and I'm going to enjoy it. And I'm going to enjoy it in the company of brilliant Arsenal fans. And I'm an Arsenal fan not because we play attractive football, not because we win things, but because I'm an Arsenal fan. And that's who I've nailed my colours to the mast. Could be so much worse. Could be Hull City. Right? I always think Hull City. I'm not trying to dig out. I hope I get a Hull City fan in one day. Could be my boss at work. He's a Hull City fan. Geeks of Muckleby, that's his page. Is he here? Have I missed him? No. Well, then take his page and link him down. Hi, Dan. Miss Molina's here. Yes! Miss Molina. Hope you're feeling well. Hope you're feeling better. Evening chat. Hi, Dan. AJ. Good to see you. Breaking. Broken. I'm not reading out every news. We don't do a lot of news feeds here. Arsenal final stages of Ethan Wanyeri, though. That one is looking good. Gary, got to be happy about that.
Yes. I mean, my insider told me pretty much all the players will most likely sign with us. So I wasn't concerned, but I do read the tea leaves that are out there, and I drink it, and then my head gets a little fuzzy, and then I go Twitter and then I lose it, and then I come back and remember that I've been told that things are good as far as most of the signings that we're going to get. And you know what? Right now, the only one that really is outstanding is Saliba, but Mascara is coming in, so maybe they
Mascara
have.
Looks like it's done as well. This is breaking. RB Leipzig are ready to sell Xavi Simons. I think I knew it. I mean, Leipzig have to sell. Xavi Simons, for me, is the most underrated player in German football right now. Joshua Kimmich, who's probably the best player in the season, Michael Olise. But Xavi Simons, 25 games he played. He missed about a third of the season with injury, and he still bagged in something like 15 goal contributions. He is an outstanding... He's very Eze-esque, though. And so I would choose Eze instead because I like how enthusiastic Eze is about Arsenal, and I think that's got to count for something.
And I think Eze will stand up in the Premier League most likely. Then Xavi, he'll have to figure out Sims will have to figure it out. They just have to figure it out. Sometimes we don't want the player to have to figure it out. We kind of sometimes want them to already have the answers. I've already said I don't need question marks anymore. Please.
You can't get away from it though, Gary. Like
No,
you can.
no.
You
But
can,
my starting, like my first 13, 14 players, I don't want to have to question if they're still trying to figure out the league. Like
Yeah.
either they have the talent already, like a Zubamendi, or you know what, they're already playing in the league, like an Eze, right?
You don't think that
Nordgaard, right?
Zubimendi would still have to figure it out though?
No, yeah, but I go, but I'm gonna go also with what I've seen, the experience that he already has, and I think playing behind a Rodrigo he probably knows a little thing about about what he's about to enter into. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
And it must help that he's got Marino next to him some days. You know that he's got Arteta obviously from the same town. I get it. I think every player is a gamble, even when you go. You know, Romelu Lukaku was nailed on to be brilliant. He wasn't. There is no way of getting around the fact that 50% of transfers fail, however well prepared you are for him. I totally take your point, which is something I wanted to sort of ask both of you actually, and the chat generally. It is great when you see us in for 6 or 7 players in a season transfer window, right? One transfer window. Well, what you can't be sure of at that point is how that's going to affect the dynamic in the dressing room. You know, if you suddenly work in a place where a quarter of the people go and a new quarter come in, it's a risk. It can go wrong. I feel, and before I hand over to you two, I feel as though we are making more signings based on attitude. And by that, I mean Nordgaard coming in and crying and being absolutely pro-Arsenal. Gyökeres getting his agent to waive his fee. There is this kind of feeling that if Eze comes in, you've got another player who's got a lot to do at Arsenal and it's a feel-good all-round. There is a feeling that I'm getting that we're not just looking at the technical skills of players or just their stats, but we are analysing them for fit. Zanzi, how do you feel about that?
Yeah, plus the fact I think at the moment, the only player we've got come in who's going to be a nailed-on starter is Zubamendi. The rest of them are going to be really good backups.
Yeah.
If we can get Gyökeres, we need a striker. If we can get Eze, we need someone really who's got his talent, which I don't think we have at the moment.
Yeah.
Or his skill set, anyway.
Yeah, 100%. Gary, feeling like it's more of a window about personalities rather than just sort of the Wenger era where he just goes and buys players that know how to play?
I think all of that is based on the manager. I mean, Arteta is looking for a certain type of player, and that's why we're getting the ones we're getting. As you said, Wenger, and I think even established managers out there probably don't need to go that deep into the player's psyche to figure out whether they're going to work with him. They probably can just look at the skill set, and they also carry a bit of a CV behind them that a player that comes to them knows what's about to happen. Arteta, I think he's still growing. I mean, yeah, it's 5 years, but I think he's still growing. I mean, when we compare him to some of these other managers out there, they're all getting close or have already passed the 10 year mark. You know what I mean? He's still young in this thing. Which
is why I think we need to get rid of him and bring in Ange Postecoglou while he's still out of work, because this is a proven winner.
Well, I was sitting here talking facts, and you just bring up. I'm just gonna say you bring up this nonsense.
I'm entitled to my opinion. You know.
Yeah, it's a nonsensical opinion. That's we're not doing that. No, I just feel like Arteta. You know what? He's not going to do things the way any of us, especially those who have been watching football for a while, expected that to work. If it's going to work for Arteta, it's going to be totally different than what we expect. So I'm kind of like, you know what? All right, I will see how it works out. At some point, somebody's going to have to be the parent of this team and make a decision, right? That's what's going to happen eventually, And I think Bert is giving him all the keys.
I love that way you put that. I think if obviously you listen to Ornstein and you listen to people who are close, James McNicholas, who are close to the club in that sense, and speak to people regularly around the club. And they've always said this is not one man does not make the decisions. They have to agree on everything. And Berta and Arteta, if they're bringing Gyökeres, they agree, which makes me feel better about it, because I think that these two know more about football than I will ever know. They forget more about football on a daily basis. If they and their teams have said Gyökeres is going to be good enough, then he's good enough. That'll do me, and I will get right behind him. I'm not in the business of second-guessing experts who know more than I do. I think that to the question, I think that I was always really interested in Alex Ferguson's view on this. He said, like, you can, and again, having done hiring in a completely different field, we tend to find that you hire people with the skills you're looking for, and it doesn't work. Instead, you want to hire the people with the right attitude and work with their skills and coach them. Now, there's a point a player gets to where you're unlikely to coach in the fundamentals. So if at 27, you're trying to sign Gyökeres, you know you're not going to improve his first touch dramatically, but you can definitely work with him to improve his positioning and make him available to other players to score. I hope that's what we're doing. But I do feel, looking at this transfer window, the players seem to have that little bit of something that I think we've been lacking. You know, whatever your thoughts on Gyökeres' skill level, he is ambitious, he is hungry, and he is confident, and he will kill people to get a goal. And we have not had a player like that since Ian Wright, probably. Yeah. You know, and I love that they've got that. And I think that means more to me than his technical skills ability, because if you look at the metrics that he would be compared with other players, he doesn't. And I've watched a lot of him recently. I've watched a lot of analysis of him. There are some problems. He doesn't necessarily bring something we're lacking in the way that other strikers would. But let's also be real. Top strikers are at absolute premium at the moment. Alexander Isak is more money than I think would make sense to buy him for. Victor Osimhen wants 420,000 a week, and you can't justify that if you're going to pay him that and you're paying Saka 300,000. Before you know it, you're in a PSR nightmare. And people never talk about salary; they talk about the transfer fee. And on that, if you take Noni Madueke's 5-year transfer, where we're paying 50 million over 5 years, that's 10 million a year. That has hardly any impact at all on our PSR. £420,000 a week plus a signing on fee would be massively eclipsing that. So I get it. I think at the moment, what I'm really excited about is that if you look at the players, if we look at the places we needed reinforcements, 2 players in every position, they've gone out and done that. They've bought the backup keeper. They've bought bought 2 defensive midfielders. They've bought the left winger who can play on the right wing, and there's another study to Bukayo Saka. They've brought in the number 9 that we all knew we needed, because even if you love Kai Havertz, and I feel like I do, he's not on his own going to be enough. You need to vary it and change it up. And Mosquera is an added bonus for me, because I looked at it. It wasn't until I started doing the analysis I realised we were short 1 player in the defensive positions, and then they went and got him. I don't know what else they could do now except bring in Eze, and I have to give that a 10 out of 10.
And Mosquera was what? He's at the moment about 17.5 million plus add-ons, which should go to about 20.
I'm going to be the first to say it at the Adams Arms, but add-ons, they never really tell you what the add-ons are, so I really don't know. It's like when we sold Ramsdale to Southampton and said, yes, but with performance bonuses, Arsenal could get an extra 10 million. Goes, yes, but he's at Southampton, so let's just call it what it is, right? We're not going to get...
Well, we know what Sporting's idea of an add-on is. It is a delayed payment. That's all.
Yeah, that's all it is. It's just a deferred payment, isn't it? It's like it's like if you go to a shop and go, how much for this air conditioning unit? That's £150 plus £20 add-on. What? Well, when do I have to pay that? Oh, you pay it up front. Right, well, just call it 170 quid. No, it's 150 plus £20 add-on. Interestingly enough...
I just wanted to know, because somebody mentioned my name in Top Gooner. What does that mean?
Top Gooner?
Yeah.
That is a term that people use for people they disagree with. So if you're a Top Gooner, what it does tend to imply, obviously no one's called me a Top Gooner. I'm still a scrote. I'm still somewhere. I haven't found my tribe yet. You know, I don't bang my head against the wall enough, and I don't cry and I don't rant and I shout. But Top Gooners, I see Lee Gunner calling people Top Gooners. It's the cabal of people. There is this sort of intelligentsia. And it is funny because I don't like cliques and groups. I don't like the fact that Americans use the word niche. Like, what is that? Come on. It's niche, but I digress. But the niches in football where you go, if you're the sort of person who thinks XG is a useful tool for determining who's doing well and who's doing worse than expected in front of goal, then you're a top gooner. I use my eyes. I don't need a calendar. I use my eyes. I don't need someone telling me what's going on. It's the kind of people who start a live stream and start talking before their brains had a chance to warm up and go, it's just typical. I don't understand. I mean, I want Gyökeres. We've signed Gyökeres, but I now don't know what to be angry about. And bloody top gooners out there, ha, 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 you didn't get Šeško. And it's like, well, top gooners in that instance just means somebody who might have watched one or the other of those two players play and gone, I really like Šeško. Yeah, but he's not going to score us goals right now. I don't know why people are so sure of their opinions. It's conceivable. I think we can all agree that there's a risk. We could bring in Gyökeres and he might not score at all. We could bring in Šeško and he might score just like Alexander Isak did. He might find this league perfect for him, having come from Germany, which is physical, and being a second striker and now getting a chance to play up front with the players around him who are obviously better than he has at Leipzig. And he might get 16, 17 goals in a season. The conversations I've seen where people are going, he's going to get 30 goals a season for Gyökeres, I just feel sorry for him. I just feel like, what a high bar to set someone. Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah, it'd be Mo Salah in his first season. He was that at Coventry. 2 years ago, he was amazing. It's people having these strong opinions, but top gooners basically are people who don't say the word blood a lot in every sentence. So if you find yourself saying, I used to really like Troops, but now every time I watch him, it's like, do you know what I'm saying? People who constantly ask you if you know what they mean. Do you know what I mean, blood? Do you know what I'm saying, blood? Do you know what I mean, blood? Yes, I fucking do, but you haven't said anything yet. So, very difficult. But yes, you're a top gooner.
And fam as well.
Fam, blood. It's the interchanging use of blood and fam really upsets me from my time in the...
all right, I'll let everybody know. I'll fire anybody if it makes my team better. Okay?
Yeah.
I'll fire anybody. If you told me we sell Saka and it gives us a better chance to win a trophy, we sell Saka. All right. So I'm Arsenal. As I keep saying, I'm Arsenal, and whatever's good for Arsenal, that's what I want.
Here's the thing.
I totally agree with you, fam.
Blood, fam. Blood, fam, blood, fam. Do you know what I mean? Blood. Do you know what I mean? Fam. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I get it. Listen, I think most of us, but that isn't true of everyone.
There
are people out there who would rather be right and us lose than...
Yeah, no, I like to I like things to be easy. I don't like these complicated kind of scenarios that I have to deal with. No, for me it's easy. Whatever gets Arsenal to put their arms up in the air at the end of the season is kind of what I want. But it's my team. I'm just going to cheer for them, right? Regardless of what's going on, I'm going to cheer for them. So, yeah.
Amen to that. Rosie's come out of the blocks with there are two queens of Arsenal. Both in the chat. The second has arrived. And it's Anthony Herbert.
I don't think that's what she meant.
I'm just reading what comes up. All right, boy lover.
Anthony, that's cool. There's anything wrong with it. All right, that's all I'm going to say.
Listen, you know what? You have a few jars of Scrumpy and what you get up to in the comfort of your own local.
I don't even know what that. You said Scrumpy. I don't know what a Scrumpy is, and then maybe
it's a West Country term for a type of cider that's very strong. Scrumpying is when you go picking apples, but as a derivation of that, it's a very strong scrumpy cider. It's usually made in, where you keep the fuel for the tractor, and then you have it together, and it's lovely. So, oi, Razor, you selling bloody dodgy beers in the Adam's Arms, or is Zanzi not cleaning the pipes and filters properly? Oi, Zanzi, you bloody want some. He does bloody want some.
That's why
I've got some new beer for Anthony Herbert, and it is... Pride of Arsenal.
Pride of Arsenal.
I didn't really watch BBC. I'll be honest, but I didn't
I just cannot get enough of it. I cannot get enough of you, Anthony. We is Earth Vader. Right. Chats.
That is crazy because that entire sentence, I could read it.
Yeah, I don't think it's him.
Oh.
I think he's got someone, either that or he's had, in the cartoons when they have two bumps on the head and they come back to normal. He's
Okay.
had the even amount of Scrumpy in his back.
Sorry, Anthony. I just, it just many times we've had to go, what? I'm just like,
Maybe it's AI.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be fun, actually. No, Sam Greenwood always calls it, was it Scrumpy Yoda? I love it. Great to have you here, Weir's. Hey, Queen of Arsenal has arrived. Yeah. But Miss Molina was here the whole time. I don't get it. So everyone's here. Yaya Sanogo. Yaya Sango. Have you been at the same Scrumpy? Hi, AJ. Hello, Rosie and Malia. Yay. I thought you were here earlier, Miss Molina. Am I making that up? Just for posterity, I would tilt very easily in a poker game. I have yet to find somebody I couldn't tilt in a poker game. Someone said to me once, you're very good at getting under people's skin. I said, yeah, well, you're not happy in your own and you're good at getting under other people's, but I am hell to play poker with.
Have you watched any of the World Series of Poker main event, like that they have streaming?
Yeah, not. I haven't. I went to the World Series 2 years running.
Nice.
And back in my day, it was all Negrianu, Phil Ivey, the greats of my time.
No, there's that one guy, William. I believe he's a Greek guy, William Casillas or something like that.
Mate, I've played with some of the worst wind-up merchants in poker.
He would talk your head off.
It's the ones that are rude. It's the ones that are really. I'm going to do a separate poker show on this channel, see if it takes off, because there's enough to talk about. There's some absolutely great people, and it isn't a game I recommend to play with really good players unless they, a friendly game. Have you seen the Detroit Red Wings tradition of the octopus? It's brutal. When they get to the playoffs, someone will sneak an octopus in and throw it on the ice. That's not cool, man. Octopus, I think, are more intelligent than humans, so I'm just not eating them. That's my cutoff. I can't eat something cleverer than me. I am getting steadily closer to being fully vegan. I would tilt very easily on a floor that Dan had built. All right. I mean, every bloody time she says something funny. CNN Portugal, that's not a real thing. Shush. Arsenal got good history since it was founded in Dial Square in 1886 to joining the Football League in 1893. Then we moved to Highbury till 2006. We moved to the Emirates. Yes. We have got good history.
It's all right. Is someone from Scotland asking if we had history?
Oh, don't let her go. She's a gooner. If it's anything like his badge on the wall, then definitely. I think that's what they're alluding to. Do you know what? Earth Vader gives me shit about that, and he's a builder. He's allowed to. Everyone else, I intended it to look like that, okay? It's just you're not as cultured as me. This is very avant-garde, okay? Anyone can put one up that isn't on the wonk.
You know what? I don't know what was wrong. I heard you talking about it the other night, and I was like, what? So...
Do you know what? I feel like going like that. Is that better, everyone? Just everyone calm down. Yeah, I feel I had seasickness. Yeah.
Oh, no. Wow.
That's the good Scottish air for you. Bloody hell, if Razor built the Emirates, that'd be on a wonk like the... Oh, they're all getting in on it now. Brilliant. Let's go to someone who talks sense every time. Boy Tendio. I'm trying to make an edit, and my pirated version of Sunny Vegas 17 keeps crashing. Do I make a blood sacrifice or pirate difference? Is this the first time he said something totally wacky that I went to him going, you always said something sensible? I don't know what's going on tonight, but I'm loving the Tuesday vibe. Speakeasy. Hey, trouble has arrived. Right, Richard Andrews. Yes, I remember as a kid in 1982 standing in the North Bank, and it was £1.80 to watch. Oh, they were the days. 83 for me. Didn't see the pitch first two games because I was too little, and then we didn't score. But it does take. I know Zanzi and I have gone on about this like a pair of old codgers would do, but it's when people go, Arsenal got a history of being brilliant. You go, no, don't support a football club because they're good. You saw that what happened to the Man United fans who. Man United had a decent number of fans. They were always a big club. But in the 1990s, it took off. And then by the noughties, you had all these people all over the world. Man United shops in every airport I went to, seemingly. And all these people going, yeah, I love Man United. Man United are great. And then you go, yeah, just give it some time. What are you going to do when they're shit? And here we are. Now they're all like, oh, I'm done with this. You don't get to be done with football. If you are, just stop watching it. That's it. Nothing else to say. I
can't understand these people who will only support a team because they're playing well.
It's the opposite of what being a football fan is.
Yeah.
There are 92 teams in the league. It wouldn't survive if every group of fans was like, if we don't, we'll sack everybody. We were promised silverware. Well, you're an idiot then. I have a bridge to sell you. Just email me. I'll put my channel is Dan Jan Guna channel. I'd like to buy Tower Bridge. We're doing a once in a lifetime. We'll even deliver it for you.
But you have to also split the cost and send some to me.
Of course. Everyone,
Right,
all the regulars in the pub will get their cut.
Okay, thank you. I was just wondering if you were gonna, help us out a little bit.
We're an
Sounds
autonomous collective. Don't you worry about it. Don't you worry about it. What kind of information, DWTT?
The information that you need. I feel like,
the news you can use, Guna chums. Hi, Miss Melina.
did you see that fish sandwich today? That was
Oh, what?
That was somebody got robbed. In
Where?
one of the chats, Rosie showed us what 17 pounds of fish and chips get you.
I did
robbed.
see. Listen, Padstow, Rick Stein has a. You want to get ripped off? I counted 7 chips. You know what? If I can count the chips, and I have no. Food in England, I'm sure it's not much different in the United States. We are getting hit on the price of everything.
Well, they make the plates smaller and all this other crap to make it look like you got a full plate, and it's like, no,
It's
this is
just
a smaller plate than you gave me the last time.
It is just frightening at the moment. It really is. I bought fried chicken from a local fried chicken shop. Fried chicken used to be like you buy a bargain bucket of 10 pieces of chicken would be roughly £1 a piece. Like $10 a bucket. Now it's like £70 for 3 people.
Yeah. It's definitely, £2 a piece is, and that's even for wings.
Yeah, I'm telling you. For it's just I'm not going to spend the whole show complaining. Well, maybe I will actually. No, maybe I will. Mr. Tom, I joined DWTT on the Adam's Arms.
Yeah, I shared the stream on the on my channel, so
I can see that it's got a little link on it. I love that. Brilliant idea.
Yeah.
I think you're the first to do that, actually.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen it before, or I just wanted to come in and just scream at the screen the whole time, so I ignored. I missed it.
It does give you an option. It says allow people to stream from their own link, and no one's ever taken it before. And I don't know my way around technical stuff. I'm delighted. Breaking. This better be breaking. Is Idris Adam supporting a finalising deal for Victor Gyökeres? The point of discussion has been the 10 million in add-ons. Now they've agreed 5 million. It'll be easy. It doesn't really feel like breaking.
Well, you know what? When I saw that 10 mil, had issues, I'm like, are you kidding me? Arsenal, just make it easy and give him half. That's kind of what I was thinking in my head. So I don't know if they did that, but it makes sense to me. If you want it to be easy, then I'm not going to give you the full amount. There's no way. You know what I mean? If somebody said, here, I'm going to give you a bonus. And you're like, all right, well, can you make the bonus easy? Like if I just sell one thing, do I get all of my bonus? It's like, no. But if you want it to be easy.
I just feel like we don't know anything about the ins and outs. And I love that Andrea Berta's style seems to be, I could go elsewhere.
Like I said, the little things that he's done, I thought was good. When he re-signed, was it Sambi? And everybody's like, why is he doing that? I'm like, because nobody's walking for free anymore.
Yeah, thank you. Apart from Rosniak, who left.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think that's before his time. I don't think
that's it. He left. He officially announced it a couple of days ago. So he has it. But there's not a lot you can do. I mean, the guy's he's moving mad.
Yeah.
He's doing bits. I'm very streetwise. I know all the lingo. I can be a top gooner and I can be an absolute idiot as well. But you've got to give him some credit. Like he ties up Ethan Nwaneri, Gabriel Saliba. If this all happens in one transfer window, what hasn't he done?
Yeah.
At this point, he's upgraded Win the Dog to Lassie.
But think about it. We did. I mean, his resume says he'll be all right. We'll be okay. Is basically what his resume says.
Yeah, no, but it was the first 2 days of the transfer window, and he hadn't done everything, and people were getting panicky. Because that's how it works. You get everything done in the first hours.
Yeah, no.
There's nothing, you know. Here we go. So Miss Melina, North Side London keeps saying Liverpool are moving towards Isak. I would expect him to know. He's always right. I don't get on with that kind of content. I'm actually disappointed Leafric and Gula's prediction for why we're getting Šeško didn't pan out. Wanted that mad hat methodology to make sense. What was it? I don't remember that.
He put something out, and I was like, I didn't even know you were in that game, like that ITK game. I thought you were just like us, just a fan chatting about what you know, an opinionated one as opposed to coming with facts and background and
no one wants you. You're obsessed about these facts. facts don't sell. All right, that's a reality.
Yeah, this is supposed to be an extension, as you said, of the when you're hanging out with your friends in the pub talking about everything and then some, and then Arsenal as well, right? So
it's enormously liberating to repeatedly say, I haven't got a fucking clue what's going on. I had this idea I was going to do, done and dusted when I think a deal's happening because I've been reading the news. I go, there is no news to read. Like, they're not going to tell you till it happens. And I do think that it may catch on, my idea, that from now on, there's no transfer news or gossip. Everyone just has a summer holiday, maybe watches a bit of Wimbledon, watches a bit of other football. And then the day before, we all get told who we've signed and we can all go, it's not good. Oh, no, it's good enough.
You know what? You can't do that now because everything is driven by the media. So you can't do that. So you have to give the information out and they decide to do what they want with it. Yeah. Because guess what? A lot of your revenue comes in from the media, so that's why that happens. You know, that's why that happens. I mean, a lot of the information I get from, I like to say, my insider, basically states that you know what, when they know pretty much the deal is pretty much done, they will get that information, but they will drag it on and go back and forth and switch up some words, you know, and make it seem like things aren't going well, and then eventually all of a sudden it does work, and it's like, yeah, I knew. We like a lot of times we're sitting there, going, yeah, we know this is already done, but this guy's rambling here, it's waffling here about what's going on, just because, you know what they need interaction, and the only way they can give you interaction is if they tell you things aren't there. Like, it'd be hard to say if they came out and said, you know what, the deal's 90% done, they're just working out, they're just going to get the paperwork sent off and then it's over. They get no interaction from that.
The problem is, and this is true in every field in life, right? Like, real experts, if you ask a meteorologist if it's going to rain, they say there's a 70% chance of rain. And humans hear that as, oh, it's going to rain. We're innumerate, essentially. So 90% chance of rain, human beings process that as there's going to be rain. And when it doesn't rain, people are like, but you said it was going to rain. And the experts will say, no, I can't tell you it's definitely going to rain. I can only tell you the degree of probability that it's going to rain. Yeah, but 90% it should rain. Yeah, but 1 in 10 times it won't rain. And this is one of those 10 times. You said it was going to rain. And that's what you get. And that's why it's really interesting. If you study, there's a book by Nate Silver, who's a brilliant political forecaster, and he knows who's going to win elections in the States. But he wrote this brilliant book called The Signal and the Noise. And in it, he talks about how local weather stations, local TV stations that have the weather on, will routinely predict rain more often than they do sunshine, because that way, if you're wrong, people aren't pissed off. So they are currently, if you're watching local news weather, it's about a 50% chance it's right. Just because they get so many complaints when they try and be accurate. And the reality is, if you look at David Ornstein or Fabrizio Romano, who have more connects than I will ever have, when somebody at the club that they are talking to says, look, we are actually really close to doing Victor Gyökeres, we're about 90% there, they know that if they come out and say it's definitely done, that 10% is going to ruin them forever. So when you see Ben Jacobs or David Ornstein being interviewed, so how likely is it going to happen? Well, look, they're really confident about it. They think it's going to happen. Well, is it going to happen or not? It's like, you're a child. You're a child if you want certainty. If you want certainty in an uncertain universe, it's not going to happen for you.
It's like when you get the old lady on the email for the first time ever. It says, "Dear local radio station, you said it wasn't going to rain today. My washing's all wet now."
Yeah. You got a window, open it. It's just like Chris Nix is here. Great to see you. Rosie's well, apparently. When she's not taking a piss out of me for what I'm wearing or my decor. I'm sensitive, you know. Hey, Melina, hope you're well, says Cole. Don't worry about me. I'm just here, Cole. Just, you know, Gary, me, and Zanzi. We're just here. We're just set dressing. Look at that. Rosie's come in from your channel, but she was here on my. Rosie, you're everywhere. She's here. She's there. You can see that. You can. I don't know if you can see it in the chat. There's a little link that says, "Make sure you're smashing the like and button, subbing to DWTT." Don't worry about the Adam's arms. Yeah. Fucking hell, just, you know, turning the lights off. You guys have.
Rosie, I told you to do that in quiet.
Yeah, in quiet in the chat. Yeah. Like,
I told you to sneak those messages in there. See, Dad's caught us.
He's reading. He's reading. He can read. Mod Bose, is this guy Gary a top gooner? Can't. Oh, is that where that comment came from?
Yeah, that's why I was asking.
Far behind that. Yeah, he's a top geezer. Don't worry about gooners. We're top geezers. Only the best allowed in here. Mod Bose, I don't know. He's looking dubious now. Gosh. Chris' birthday next week, everybody.
Happy birthday. Happy pre-birthday.
We don't sing any songs, obviously, because we're trying desperately hard not to get struck. But, hey, got us in the Champions League semi-final. Sack him. Yeah, it's not good enough. Silverware, Elite Sports, but no idea what I'm talking about. Clearly, $500,000 a week is madness. They do call it madness. Mosquera is going to be great. Don't know how much we'll see of him. Miss Molina's on your channel now. Everyone's on your channel. Brilliant. Can some of you click like on here just so that I feel like, you know, it was worth turning up? I appreciate your support as well. Yeah, everyone's support. I thought we were all mutants here. We are all mutants here. As an interesting thing, right? We're X-Men. We're mutants. We have mutant superpowers. Zanzi, what's your mutant superpower? As I ask that, I worry. As I ask that, I think, God, I'm really opening this up to a late night audience, aren't I?
I thought invisibility would be good, but you have to be naked to do that.
What do you mean invisibility? You never show yourself anyway. No one knows what you could be standing behind you in Tesco's and not know invisibility.
Yeah, but invisibility would be really bad in the winter.
It's also bad if you have personal body odor that's quite noticeable.
That's true, yeah. So I think the best thing to do would be able to fly.
Yeah, I think I'd like to have the power to. No idea. I don't know why I'm even bringing this up. Here we've got a good explanation from Boy Tendio. Top Gooner means you blindly back the manager or appear to do so. That's what people want it to mean, at least. There isn't anyone who blindly... Who are these people? I keep hearing about people who blindly back Arteta. I haven't met one. I've yet to meet someone who thinks that Arteta should keep his job even if we never win the league. You just go, yeah, everyone gets sacked eventually, don't they? It's just when. Might also be... this is the other thing. I used to love this when my very first troll on the channel used to accuse me literally every single time he'd come on. He said the same things. Might have been Luca in a previous life, but he used to come on and he'd go, "You're getting brown envelopes." And I had this big golden envelope. I'd go, "No, it's not brown, it's gold. Look, I get all, Arteta sends me all the money because I've got 12 people watching in a chat. So he sends me thousands of pounds. It's like, you're 10% of my entire viewership. Why would they give me anything?" If I see the term Top Gooner being used as an insult in the chat, they will be removed. Or, you know, at least send them to the other channel that everyone's linking here from anyway. You know, I feel like they're all being led through the cellar into a better channel.
It's like when you go to the casino and the other casinos got people in there, you know, when you go to the bar to get a drink and the guy's like, "Are you sure? Are you having fun here? Because, you know, I can get you a better spot and a nicer room across the street." Like, what? Yeah.
That's a great job, actually, casino host. I did want to do that for a bit. That is a big job. Stressful, but really good. I'm a Top Gooner, not Arsenal related. Hey everyone, working today, so just listening in on the other channel. But welcome, the Arsenal misfit, Miss Molina. I always knew you liked Arsenal. Remember, Declan Rice won a lot of money in a bet before. Did he? Big up, Rosie, you Top Gooner. Blood fam, now what I mean, innit? Allow it. In it, fam. Removed Anthony Herbert. Malia's straight in there with man like the Adams Arms fan blood. Cuz Rosie, the top gooner.
Oh, she's gone. You know she's gonna be gone. Oh.
Why is he lips in the gal in Barbados blood? Are you seeing this, fam? I tell you what, I do watch a lot of YouTube football, YouTube Arsenal content, and I think I must be just a masochist. But every now and again, it's a new thing that pisses me off every time. Recently, Lee Gunn has been pissing me off, not because he talks shit, because I've started to work that out. I expect that. But it's that he doesn't know how to kiss his teeth, and yet he routinely kisses his teeth. It's the most annoying thing. It's like, don't do that. Don't do it. It's cool when cool people do it. It's just not cool. Are you seeing this, fam? I'll always cherish those Rice goals. Still rewatch them if I need a smile. Oh, mate, yeah. Couldn't agree more, Gary. I support the team and what makes it better. Gary's brilliant. Yeah, fucking one Gary's channel. Yeah, I'm from Gary's channel, everyone. We're cool. Right. Not mine, but Rosie's one of them, or she was.
Zandy, I thought you said Dan was nice.
No, he was. He's right. He was nice. What a load of shit, Anthony Celery Herbert. Can I say it in his voice? What a load of shit. If I can find it, hang on, let's have a look. This is the real voice of.
I didn't really watch BBC. I'll be honest, but I didn't really watch a lot of ITV, BBC, and that. I just want to sit down, either watch a decent game of football, rugby, or if not, is a film or a series.
This is brilliant, isn't it? Or if not, it's a film.
So is that what he sounds like without the filter? That is crazy.
That is, yeah.
I didn't even
is
know.
The unfiltered Wurzel. Earth. Wurzel Vader. Hi, Tom and Miss M from Gary's channel. Rosie, the top ranger. Did you see how
I'm not doing that again. I'm not getting that.
You've got to let me come on and do it now as well. I'll be like,
I don't even know I have that power.
Beer is half price at the Adams Arms right now. I just had a drink from the bar here and it was kind of warm and smelly. Zanti's changing the barrels. Snooker or tennis? Yes, please. I'm not saying Victor will be Henri or Bergkamp, but I remember for the first 5, 6, 7 games they struggled, didn't score. There could be a period of adjustment, Victor. Thank you, Richard. I hope people who are all clamoring for his signature can be as patient as that. I just think that's fair. You know, I don't care if he hits the ground running or not. We've got to invest in a player for 2 to 3 years at least. I gave Fabio Vieira 2 seasons. You know? Like, just on the back of sometimes people shit in their first season, but 2 seasons and you're out. So well said, Richard. I agree with that. It is, Rosie, load of shit, lol. Dan, by the time you read this, I'll have died of old age. Wow.
Oh, damn.
Oh, well. Maybe stop funneling away my my regulars to another pub. There you go. Sags in the dark. Great showing Anthony wearing makeup.
Oh man, I just mentioned something about is that something in your beer? And then the next thing you know, they were at my place. I'm sorry, I don't know why. I just
flaunting it and owning it. Melina, ban Rosie now, lol. Yes, contact me directly if you want to see anything in makeup. I sounded a bit fruity there. If Sam Greenwood didn't eat anything smarter than him, he wouldn't eat.
Oh wow.
Oh. It's a pop. Get those two on a like Rosie. Go on Slags and just you two can just banter it out, and I'll get the popcorn. Rosie has got crazy flames. It's no fun when he's not here. I'll screenshot it and send it in. Police Academy movie or Prison Break? Haven't seen either. I've seen one Police Academy, and it was all right. Oof, Idris Adam, Prison Break, great first 2 seasons, then went off a cliff. I'm really falling out of love with Walking Dead very rapidly. Very, very poor 7th series. Why am I even doing it?
Have you ever watched Sneaky Pete?
I did watch a bit of Sneaky Pete, actually. I don't know why I'd stopped watching it. There's a few that I really liked. The Ozark. I like Ozark? I can't remember how to say that. Ozarks. That was brilliant. And then I stopped watching it. You know when you sometimes love a series and for some reason you stop watching it? That's me. Countdown on Prime is really good. God, that's I prefer to see. What is your opinion about Noni Madueke, Gary?
You know what's weird? I don't really talk about the players much because I usually talk about I just hope it doesn't affect other deals. But if I'm going to talk about the player, I think as a backup, if that's what he's going to be, I'm all for it. He offers something a little bit different than Saka. After having Saka playing against Saka for a bit, and then you bring Gyökeres in, I think you might get punished for it. At least he'll put some shots towards the goal. We know he will shoot, right? I think if we're struggling to score goals, you bring him on, he's going to shoot, and I kind of like that one. I like that part of his game. I know Arteta will probably, try to turn that knob, down a little bit, so he doesn't just want to shoot all the time. But that's what a lot of people have said about him, is that he loves to shoot at the expense of maybe a better pass. But
I wanted that in our team. If you looked at the statistical averages, we did not take enough shots. So for me, it feels like almost this is a stat-driven transfer window, because if you look at the areas where we're weak, shots taken, Noni is an improvement. Noni's stats would be our second most frequent shot taker if his figures.
If and where he got the minutes, he would be up there as well. I mean, if you remember when he first came on, I think in the first 3 or 4 games that he came on, his first touch was a shot.
Yeah.
And then when he didn't, the one time he didn't shoot with his first touch, he actually made a defensive play, and I was like, all right, I like him. But still, we'll see.
I mean, you're right. If Ethan had more minutes, if he had more starts, I think, because he's not up there. He's under a shot a game. But then, that makes sense. If you're not getting regular running games, you're not in a regular position. Certainly, look, he's 18 as well, so it's not really fair comparing him with players 5 years older than him in any league. But looking at it, I think the things that I wanted to see more of, I think Gyökeres is going to be difficult to know, because he takes shots, he converts at a high rate, but he's not necessarily a lethal finisher. So it's 1 in 3 on target that'll go in. But that is actually quite a high statistic across Europe. That's not bad finishing. Boyten Dio, does anyone think we're in a black hole, or are the scientists just smoking trees when they say that? I don't think we're in a black hole, but we have now proven the existence of black holes, which obviously began life as just a...
Aren't we supposed to turn
there is talk, possibly, that the whole universe is in a huge, great big black hole. That's what the
problem with that is
thinking of.
The thing that disproves that is entropy, because there is no time or space in the center of a black hole. So, I'm not qualified to discuss whether all time is happening all at once and we just experience it through the lens of being a human being as entropy. But frankly, it really doesn't matter to our title chances. So I couldn't care less.
But I thought if we were in a black hole, we would just turn it into ribbons anyways, right? Because that's usually what happens.
It's actually called spaghettification.
That's I can't think of the word. My daughter would have been really mad at me. And at her place, she actually has a poster of black holes. So if she heard this video, she would probably be like disowning him.
Yeah, that's what she'd be proud that you did your best.
You tried, Dad.
Like pasta ribbons, it's not the same, but he knew what he was saying, But yeah, I as you go through, it depends. If you were able to circulate an event horizon of a black hole at exactly the right speed, then you might go through it and pass through one side into a wormhole on the other side. We just don't know. The reality is, we are signing Gyökeres. So talk of black holes in our trophy cabinet can wait. Martinelli, Gyökeres, Saka front three. I don't know. I think I was having a good conversation with my bestie Sean earlier, and he kind of feels like Martinelli needs more time, and I feel like I might be coming to my end period with Martinelli. I would quite like to see him as a bench player for a bit, just to give him a chance to watch the game and get involved. I think as sometimes for young players it's hard because they're in the game all the time. You saw that with Trossard. He's a really intelligent person, and he sits back and watches the game, and then he's ready to come on when needed. I love this is Scottish pronunciation. Sclerotically subscribe to Gary, and then she's corrected herself because
they go to the same school, her and Anthony. I'm just sorry to say it out loud. I meant it was supposed to be the inside voice, and it just came out.
School's not really the right word. We don't really call that school. I know what you mean. I know where you're going with that, but I think your experience of school is a little bit more academic than theirs. I've learned how to smoke by
Thank
the
you,
time
thank
I've
you, Rosie, for pushing the product out there. I like it. Good job.
Yeah, but look at this. Never mind that. Nay, £5. Get in. The lights go
Good
back
job.
on. You're a hero.
Congratulations.
Have you
Yes.
ever seen Tottenham win the league? Have you ever seen Tottenham? Ever seen Tottenham? Ever seen Tottenham win the league? No, I haven't. I'm not old enough.
I was 2 months old when they won the league.
In 1901?
61.
I know. I'm teasing you. It's lucky for Spurs when the year ends in one, except more often it isn't. Just saying. If you want to play the statistics. We're all top gooners because no one rants here. I've ranted. Zanzi.
No, but you're not ranting, are you, for the sake of ranting?
I've done ranting. You just weren't listening.
Nice boy, but doesn't listen to a word you say.
I will shoehorn that in. Have you got those sort of gimmicks in your pub, Gary?
I do not. I need, and you know what? That's why I'm over here. I'm doing a little reconnaissance work.
Good. I thought you were over here because the aircon on your place is gone. And you know what it
Hello,
is?
klasicos de paratos miatrogi avali portos, scorchio, mini.
I really want Rosie to redub that.
That sounds like it's really hot.
Man, you know what? Like, I love England. I love the English. I love the sense of humor. I love the dry sense of humor and everything, But the one thing I will never get my head fully around is the English talk about weather like they ever have any. It's like 4 days a year it's hot and everyone's like, oh, it's hot now, isn't it? Oh, God, it's hot. Oh, my God, it's hot. I don't know what to do. It's like, well, I don't know. Have a nap. Wake up. It'll be cold again. You'll be fine. It's 4 days a year. I love it. I cannot get enough of the hot weather. Oh, look, I'm falling behind.
This isn't hot weather.
Huh?
This isn't hot weather.
No, exactly. You're from Zanzibar. I'm moonlighting for Gary. He needs some work.
Yeah, I didn't know this was going to come here.
Sorry. I thought I put that filter on. It's Zanzi.
Right.
Can I also point out Gary's got a bugger? He hasn't even got a bar.
I just need to get him in the door, and I lock him in. It's like a one-way door. To get you. Like over here they call it. What is it called? The Roach Motel. Roaches go in, but they don't come out, kind of thing. It's kind of what I'm looking for.
Oh,
the trap.
Look at this. Malia's in on the act now. Hey, I'm Dan from Gary's channel. Lost someone with a bit of sense. Mr. Arsenal podcast. Evening, everyone. Hope you're all well. And hey, Dan, great show so far. Have you checked out last night's show on the channel? Get away from all the Arsenal bullshit and negativity. I tell you, I did watch a little bit. I was editing. The thing is, I love doing videos, and I thought, this would be a really easy one. I've written it. I just have to voice over it, and then I'll stick some clips together. The editing, the clips always takes me hours, and by the end of it, it's like 2 o'clock in the morning. You think, well, what's the point? I just don't even want to put this out anymore. But I was watching you, and I also caught up with a little bit of Rich 99 Arsenal. Big up panel, big up chat. If you can drop the link, I can jump on in 10 minutes. We give that a go. Rich, I did see you did some really good stuff. You were talking about Zanzi, you were on there as well. He was talking about that there aren't enough channels that talk about the perils of sports betting. I have to say, as somebody who's owned an online gaming company, who's made a living as a sports, not as a sports bettor, but as a poker player, and I've put very high bets on. I was really glad to see it, and I would support anybody for getting rid of gambling advertising as part of football. I think there is a move towards that, but I don't think people really do realize. And you said something which I hadn't heard before, but I thought was absolutely brilliant, which was your first win is one step closer to ruin. I have seen far too many lives wiped out by gambling addiction. And the worst thing about it is it's not like you can hide the alcohol when it comes to gambling. When you're addicted to gambling, it is a constant and it's almost impossible to avoid. So I really love that you were talking about that and your own experiences. So that was really lovely. The link is up there, but I'll pop it up again. Does it disappear or something? Can you not always just go back to the
You have to scroll the way up sometimes. And
really? Oh, God. I mean, I wouldn't want anyone to scroll all the way up. Oh, God. Can you imagine anything? It's like work, isn't it? Looks like the bin dippers are holding Geordie's ransom. They're not. Do you really? I don't think there's a hope in hell that Saudi-backed Newcastle are selling Alexander Isak. Unless
why would they sell fucking fly. Excuse my French. Why would they sell Isak when they've just got into the Champions League?
I don't know.
Sorry, no, yeah, in Champions League. It doesn't make any bloody go fuck off, fly. Jesus wept. It doesn't make any sense at all.
There isn't even a fly there, you know that, right? It's just he's just losing it. It's probably a baby. It's a baby bat. That's what.
Oh no!
It's a bird. Whoa! Did you see that?
Pterodactyl.
It's a flying elephant. It's a flying elephant.
I can't make sense of Alexander Isak going to Liverpool, but my God, if they get him, that's one hell of a transfer window.
Supposedly they were going to get him and Rodrigo, just to complete the set because you can't just have one.
What and I heard they're getting Jude Bellingham as well. Yeah, because they need to stay one step ahead. I don't know. They've had a really fallow couple of transfer seasons. Maybe it is all the money they can do. I mean, I'd be a bit worried about them if they were signing Isak, and I mean, obviously Rodrigo as well. That's just too much. I kind of care that Gyök hit the ground running. Lots of mud was slung about the place over his Česko Vyškov, so I have very high expectations of Gyök. Now, that's the problem, isn't it? A lot of people who have been talking him up have never watched him play. A lot of the people, and I've honestly convinced myself of it, but I think I'm right. Like when you hear people going, he's going to come in and he's going to do this. I had one person on the stream going, he's going to give us that aerial prowess, and I was like, well, then you definitely haven't been watching him. Because
I saw 13 minutes of him. He had 2 headers in there.
Right. In the last 68 goals, he scored 1 header.
Yeah. So he's done 2 in whatever 100 plus.
100,
so.
96 goals, 2 headers. It's a great return. Even Kai Havertz, who really, it winds me up every time he goes for a header because you think, come on, man. You don't even have to head up. You just let it hit you and go in.
You know how many times I've said that on a stream? I was like, dude, if you're in the box, you might ball might just bounce off of you and go in, but you're not there.
Yeah, do you know what I mean?
So the ball can't bounce off of you.
That. It's a bit like listen, I'm not criticizing him for it. I never like to head a ball either. It's not good for you. I think we know that. But if it's part of your job, wear a crash helmet and head it. Maybe that's the next innovation in football, crash helmets. I'm always thinking ahead, always thinking, how do we change football for the better? It was my idea to bring in VAR, but have blind people in the VAR room. And then, like that, because that's what seems to have happened in the women's Euros. It's fucking,
it's not really, it's not really a helmet, but it could just be one of those like airbag, like the micro technology, airbag technology. Yeah. So when the ball comes, it just it absorbs all of the
that's what they need. That's what they need to be working on. I mean, they've come up with a spray that disappears in a short while. So how difficult can it be? Put a man on the moon. I love it when people do that. When they go, we put a man on the moon. It's actually quite easy to put a man on the moon. It's a bit harder to do AR.
Rich says the link's not working, so I don't know what happened there. That's what I'm just looking at. You might be a little further up, but like at the
way
bottom,
up. Yeah, all right.
Like at the bottom, he's saying it says the link isn't showing. He says it isn't showing up, which I saw it. I don't know. You know what? You know what? He might be looking at it from. Is he looking at it?
He might be in your pub. Is that what it is?
Oh,
Moss is here.
I'll put it in there. I'll put it in there for you. Oh my gosh.
Boardwalk Empire, Mobland, Peaky Blinders.
Oh man. So Rich, here it's coming. It's coming for you here. Yeah.
Big up, mate.
I think this works. Let's see if this works. Let me know.
Did you audition for that part, Rosie, or The Walking Dead, Zombie? American Primeval was awesome. I want to watch that. I like the premise. I don't have enough time on my hands. Chat won't scroll back for me. Excellent creep recommendation, by the way. Right. Can we do a quiz tonight or Thursday? It's Thursday.
So I just sent the link. So he should be all right now.
The Arsenal Misfit just subscribed and liked. Good. You never have to go back to Gary's.
Oh wow! Now you're stealing my friends.
We can share. Listen, everyone's welcome. And I love it when people subscribe, but it worries me that you're going to expect top content all the time. I can't do that. Hey, there we are. Here he is. Now, I just want to repeat,
guys.
I'm really pleased you did that thing about the gambling. I think we should make more of that. 100% to you. Well done for for bringing it up, because you look how many shirt sponsors are gambling, and
Yeah,
there is something that really bothers me about it, because you've seen it destroys lives, and it's not. It can happen to anyone. It can be any age, any person, any background. So well done to you for that. I did feel quite connected to it because, like I said, I bought an online gaming company, and we got to go through the books, and I saw lives ruined in just numbers. You know, you'd see one person come in, get their £10 bingo bonus, and then they'd play that, and then they'd put £5 in, and they'd lose that, and a couple of days later, they'd put another 5, and you'd watch them change cards, put bigger and bigger amounts, and then another card, then it would just stop.
And that's the thing, you always think you're in control, and then when you say that, you're not. Like I said, what you alluded to, your first win, your closest is your next step closest to losing everything.
The difficulty is, it's exactly like all other addictions, right? There's people who have a glass of wine every night with dinner, and it never bothers them, and then you've got the ones who have that one bet and it goes horribly wrong. I personally believe in freedom of choice, and everyone's entitled to their opinion.
Yeah, of course they are. Yeah,
but I think when you're constantly seeing adverts in between football, I don't know if it's like in the States. I don't know if you see it on the streams, but I'm guessing you probably don't see it as much. But
apparently they don't. No, apparently I've heard they don't get much advertisements for betting and that. I've heard that it's not really big over there.
No, I mean, obviously some places it's illegal. It's a tough one. Obviously if you spend some time in Vegas, you see the good and the bad, but you mostly, if you spend enough time there, you see the really bad. They have the drainage pipes, the under Vegas where people live, and if you give them $10, they go straight to a casino and play the slots and stuff, and you just think, this obviously.
Yeah, mine were just football. That's all I was doing, just constantly football. No like casino, no horse racing. It was just always football, and it's weird because you build knowledge up from it. Like I was watching, like Swiss teams, Servette, Young Boys, Basel in the Swedish league.
For me, it was the 3 o'clock in the morning ones. It was Peru. It was Bolivia.
The Mexican league, league. You know, Pumas,
and you
Gyökeres.
stay up enough. Yeah. I love it. You stay up late enough, and you start to be there for when the Australian.
That's it.
League.
Absolutely.
You know
Australian league, 9 o'clock in the morning for our in UK time. You know, we're Melbourne City, and it becomes a 24/7 thing. You're literally having to sit there with your phone on charge because you're like, I need to know what's happening. I need to watch that game. It's going to drain my battery, but I've got to be ready for the next game. Do you know what I mean? And it just takes every life. It affects you personally, mentally. It affects your family, personally, mentally. And like I said, the first win, your first win is you're one step closer to losing everything on your first win.
Yep. I applaud you for saying it. I've been flipping about gambling. I've been flipping about lots of things. But I'd agree with the sentiment. So
I say something to that effect, but it's like, it's not the same, but it's like golfing. When you're practicing golfing, right?
Yeah.
It's really hard to get that perfect swing. And then if some people get frustrated, right? And they don't want to do it anymore. And then guess what the golf god does for you? Gives you that perfect swing, and you're like, ooh. And when you swing and everything works out and the ball goes where you were planning for it to go, you're like, I want more of this, right? I want that feeling again, right?
Absolutely, yeah, definitely.
And so you keep going at it.
The psychology of gambling is really fascinating, actually, because people aren't addicted to winning. They're addicted. The way I always describe it to people is if you rolled up a piece of paper and you had a wastebasket like 6 feet away, and you just roll up a piece of paper and you aim, and it goes miles away, right? And you suddenly realize, oh, I'm rubbish at this. You don't do it again. If it goes in the first time, you think, oh, I'm brilliant at this, and you don't do it again. It's when it hits the rim and bounces out, that's when you're going
again.
And then you will go again and again and again.
That's
and again.
It, yeah.
And it's
like say if you put a bet on and you think, shit, I was close. You are not going to just go, I'm out, I'm done. You are going to think, you're not beating me. You're not beating me.
So that they are close. I mean, I know a little bit about setting odds and stuff.
And
I tend to kind of look at it and go, if I'm quite good at betting just from the pragmatism, like I don't do any gut instinct bets, and I have limits and I don't go over them, even though I get in trouble. But the reality is, I'm doing some loads of research on a thing called Rat Park, which is where they give mice in this experiment, they give them water and the other canister has water with either cocaine or sometimes heroin in it. And what they notice is that the rats or mice will drink the water laced with Class A's and die very quickly.
Yeah.
And so everyone just says, "Oh, look how addictive and deadly these substances are." And the guy that was researching it, whose name I forget, said, "Well, hang on, they're just in empty cages." So he created this thing called Rat Park, which is a perfect environment for rats. They've got community, lots of food, toys. They never go near the drugs. And the point is, when we look at addiction to gambling, we look at addiction. The problem isn't necessarily gambling. It's what you're using it to replace.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
all of us go on there thinking, "Oh, if I just won £100 for £1,000 or whatever," and then you realise you're not going to, but now you've lost some money and you just want to make it back, and you're in that.
Yeah, I mean, like I did win big, and some weekends I were pushing like I'd be winning like putting 1,800. You know what I mean, just from a Friday to a Sunday night, and I'm thinking, it's not bad, but then you look at that and you think your mind then is not there where you can say, now stop. You've done it. You've beat him at this point. All you want to do then is then think, I can even go £200 here and bet on like a banker, say Barcelona, Real Madrid, and a Man City, etc. Just 3 teams. And you think,
is that what you were doing, like accumulators then?
Yeah, I was doing like just normal accumulators. Next team to score first. I would chuck draws in sometimes, which is very hard to do. And you do that and you think, well, I've got £200 to spend. I can go 3 bankers, potential bankers, as we call it. And then next minute, you're thinking, freaking hellfire, Real Madrid's messed up at last minute, draw 2-all.
You know what? I could get into like I have had moments. I mean, like I was a professional poker player. I've had some. I've had some gut punches, like real sick ones, like one card that kills you and it comes out. And one of them was on TV and I had me wired up to a heart monitor. And it's really funny. Like after in the breaks, we'd have these long-ish breaks because it wasn't filmed live. And there was a doctor there on the heart monitor, and it was like, this is before I was into running or I knew what heart rate was. And he was like, "You're 136 average." And I was like, "Is that high?" And he was like, "That's what I'd expect it to be if you were sort of steadily fast-paced walking."
Absolutely.
That's what's going on. But I'm going to go through some of these comments. Great to see you, by the way.
What's the name? Zanzi. I know you was in my chat last night. Gary, and I always look, and I think it's Adam, but it's not Adam, is it? It's not.
No, I'm Dan.
Dan, that's it. When I see, I think I caught.
Look, can you see on the screen? It says Dan Gooner channel.
I've got it. I can see it now. Yeah. Because I think it just normally says
yours, Gary. I think he's been in
Gooner. But when I first seen it,
I told him not to drink the stuff from the top shelf, and he went there anyways. I told him don't drink it, but you know what?
Yeah, well, thank you. Yeah, I like to know everyone's name. Got to know everyone's name. That's good.
I'm Dan. Lovely to meet you.
When Gary said about the top shelf, I thought he was talking about magazines.
You don't see them no more, Zanzi.
Yeah,
I knew you were. Right, so I'm trying to catch up with these. The Scottish League starts first. Scottish League, not really a thing, is it? And then we've got Gary needs that rooster. Don't know what that's all about.
I don't know what that means.
Rosie, I'll let you know about Super Brew Moss. Just been busy. We play Panathinaikos and then Birmingham. Oh, that must be in Europe. Big question, Mark, is how good the Portuguese league is. How many goals would Gyökeres score in the Premier League for reference?
I can tell you that.
No, you can't.
They rated that the Portuguese league was like the relegation zone of the Premier League.
There is a league multiplier. So if you read, I've forgotten his name now. In fact, hang on, talk amongst yourselves. I have to let the cat out. Come on.
Dan, with this thing, when people say Farmers League, I don't know if you have heard this, Gary, but they say this like thing all the time, Farmers League. I get when people say that, but then my argument is all European top teams go and fetch players from these supposedly Farmers Leagues. You know what I mean? These absolutely ballers and class players in Liga, in Premier League, obviously Portuguese League. And, Porto, if they were in Premier League...
Name another really big striker that's come from Portugal to the Premier League.
You've got me on that one, Dan. I'm trying to think.
That's what I've got you.
Nunes hasn't really happened, has it? It's not really happened at Liverpool.
If you tell all the people who are jumping up and down going, I want Gyökeres, not Šeško, that he'll do as well as Darwin Núñez, they send him back, wouldn't they?
Well, I'm definitely Gyökeres over Šeško. I just want,
I think most people, I'm getting used to that.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you a direct question. You can flannel it if you want to.
Yeah.
How much have you seen Gyökeres play?
Well, going back to the betting, I used to watch all the football, like I said, for 4 years. I was watching all leagues. I've seen Gyökeres play probably, I'd say about 12 times. Say about 12 times.
And in those 12 times, how many of the teams that he was playing against could you say the name of? Or had
you've got Boavista. You've not, is it VC? I think Victoria. What's the other? I can't remember this.
Victoria, yeah.
Yeah, Gyökeres.
Like if I told you he scored 2 goals against Rio Alaves or whatever they were called.
Yeah, Rio Ave. Yeah.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant. But I think the question was, how would Nketiah do in the Portuguese league? And I think
Nketiah touches 15 goals in that league.
Yeah.
A season.
So see, when the guy who you remember, like when Liverpool changed their whole style and they went stat driven, they went Moneyball. And they brought the guy. I've read his autobiography. It's really interesting. And he was talking about how they couldn't get past Brendan Rodgers. He wouldn't listen to them. He just would not trust the stats. He wanted a player. They said he was the wrong player. He got them anyway. It failed. And so they were going out there finding players on stat-based methods.
Yes.
And they realized quite quickly that when you go across Europe, you can't say 5 goals in Portugal is as good as 5 goals in the top 5 leagues. So they use a league multiplier.
Yeah.
A coefficient, and the coefficient they use for Portugal is times 40%. So if you scored 10 goals in Portugal, their equivalency is 4 goals in the UK. Now, I know that what we're talking about in Gyökeres is a player who has done much better than anyone else in Portugal. He really has.
Yeah, he's a machine. He is a machine.
But he's a machine, and if you've watched him 12 times, then I don't need to tell you, he traps a ball as far as I can kick it. Right, he's not got the silky skills of an Arsenal player from the years gone by where we were Wengerable. He's not trapping balls and bringing it down in one fluid motion. He's not a hold-up player. He's not somebody who can hold on to the ball particularly well. He comes in off the left almost always, and he has a lot of one-on-ones against keepers that he probably wouldn't get in the Premier League. And so what I love about him is personality, determination, everything. But the idea that this guy is so good that the Arsenal fan base are jumping up and down demanding him implies to me that they haven't seen him.
This is it, Dan. Like I can honestly say this, some fans will not have seen these players. They would have never even seen Zubimendi play. And I've seen Zubimendi about 17 times for Real Sociedad and Spain. And just going on him very quickly, Zubimendi, I watched him and I'm like thinking, the only player what impressed me at Real Sociedad when I used to watch him was Kubu, and obviously a complete different position. But Zubimendi is one of them players where you will look back and analyse it after the game and you think, fucking hellfire, he didn't do anything wrong. But I didn't see anything good. And it's like a Ray Paul or Darren Fletcher kind of, you know what I mean? They do everything right.
I was talking about this with my mate earlier. I've never pretended to be a scout. I can watch, like I watch games and think he didn't do anything. And then a really intelligent footballer, someone who's played football, I know you've played football, would go, you're not seeing what I see. But then that's true when you're good at something. Like I was talking to my best mate, loves to play tennis. I can't play tennis. But I was watching Wimbledon and I fell in love with Wimbledon all over again this year. And I was going, just looked to me like he was playing these lob shots too high. And he was like, Dan, do you realise how difficult they are? He knows how difficult it is to do what he's watching. I don't. So in my head, he should just score that goal or do that thing. I think a lot of people, when they watch football, watch it with a better eye than me. Because I grew up just enjoying the theatre.
And me, you know, I can be watching things now thinking, well, I didn't see that. Because I am someone who will always admit if I'm wrong.
Let me out. What I'm getting at with this is I never get so sure about a player that I get angry if we don't sign him. I can't be that sure. When someone says to me, Gyökeres is a bags man, he's going to get goals. And I think, A, I know you haven't watched him. B, I don't know how anyone can be that confident. I just don't know how you can be that confident because he's.
You can't.
No. So what we're doing is we're hyping each other up. We're going, Gyökeres, the debate over Gyökeres versus Šeško, I do watch Šeško a lot. I've been watching him because a year ago we nearly signed him. So all season, I watch a lot of Bundesliga anyway.
I've seen him a few times. Yeah.
First half of the season, I was like, he's not all that. Second half of the season, different.
He started to blow up a bit. Yeah.
And they say, oh, well, how comes he hasn't scored many goals? And I always say in the Champions League, he scored 2 goals fewer than Gyökeres.
I think with me, Dan, and probably chat and panel just agree, enough is enough now. We do need a striker at this football club because this club used to implement fear into teams just by our strikers alone. And if we don't get a striker and get someone over the line, we really could start sliding down that table because
we could anyway.
Last season I watched Arsenal and a lot of games after 5 minutes I'm thinking, nah, we're boring. We are absolutely shambolic up front, and I'll not beat around bush with things, but I will also admit if I'm wrong. And I used to watch Arsenal and think, we ain't scoring today, or we're going to get a lucky goal, or we're going to have to rely on Saliba and Gabriel to win us points in this, or get us a draw because we've got nothing up top. And again, I blame Mikel Arteta for not maximising, like I keep saying, and fully completing a window. That is on him as well. Obviously, not just him, Tim Lewis, Richard Garlick, Edu at time. Vinay Gyökeres, all in it to get, do you know what I mean? Everybody. But the time is now where this window has to be completed. If we don't complete this window, and I mean signing Gyökeres and a left winger and Eze, we are going to then get to January and be like, 2 players decided to leave. Well, you didn't sign a left winger and Eze, so then you need that position. Then that's already 4 players in one window. Then it gets to summer. And I'm 90% confident William Saliba is going to leave Arsenal next summer. And by the way, he's my favourite player. You're going to think, well, we've got to replace.
I do want to challenge your 90% confident.
If Florentino Perez calls him this month, William Saliba leaves Arsenal, he will turn around and break the news to him.
That's your opinion.
Of course it is, yeah. Absolutely,
yeah. So what I'm not questioning is that you're right to have an opinion. What I'm asking is how you
Same
can
as
say
you guys.
90% certain. I'm not 90% certain about anything.
Because I just think these players can't keep going on to international duty with Saka, Rice, Saliba, and hearing like Tchouaméni, Camavinga, Mbappe, Foden.
You're just, and I understand, and I'm not necessarily disagreeing with you, but I'm saying the things you're saying are just explaining why you feel that way.
Because I think.
No, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying, do you have information that I don't have about Saliba?
No. All I know is that Florentino Perez is a huge fan of him.
No, all right. But so my rule here is typically this. Do you have access to information I don't have on Saliba? Because if we can both just guess for ages, I can say, I've done a lot of jobs in my life where you have to read someone's body language and you have to decide. We don't know. I've never said I'm 90% certain he's staying, but you're 90% certain he's leaving. So I just want to get an idea if that 90% is just how you just decide.
My personal perception. Yeah, that's
So you wouldn't be surprised if you were wrong, would you? Have you been wrong about things before?
Not getting a lot of things wrong about Arsenal just lately, but I do get things wrong, and I always put my hands up to it. Absolutely do.
Look at this. Anthony Weers has just subbed to DWTT.
You know what? That's disappointing because I've known him for so long.
Well, is he literally just subbed?
He keeps saying it. I think that's an inside joke. I hope it is.
I know it must be. I want to count some of these. As deep, don't think it's only dangerous if people lose control. What about responsible gamblers? I agree. Listen, it's the same with booze. It's the same with any narcotic substances. You don't know who's going to get addicted to shopping or bingo.
Exactly.
I'm not here to tell people how to be. What I'm saying is it is difficult seeing these adverts, these bullshit adverts where they go, remember to gamble responsibly. It's like there's no such thing, really. Gambling is in itself an irresponsible
That's just to cover their own back, Dan, isn't it? Yeah. They're just putting it out there saying, well, we warned you.
I've got a plan to look. The first merchandise from the Adams Arms, which I hope you'll all buy, is I'm launching a vodka called Responsibly, because then whenever somebody says please drink responsibly, we're getting free advertising, right? It's like a really obvious thing to do.
You are a dangerous man and you need to stop. That's
marketing is my thing. No, but I think, look, we're all talking about the same thing. We all want the same thing. I don't want to stop people gambling. I still gamble. I don't have a problem with it. I've been very lucky. Some people I've loved very much have had a problem with it. I'm not judging. I'm saying that we don't offer anything like the amount of help to people who have watched and had it normalized on TV that gambling is okay.
Yeah.
Instead of saying it's a very dangerous thing. And this notion that you can put stop limits on what you do. No, if you're in the manic phase of the gambling addiction, you will not be putting limits on your own gambling, and you will do things every day that ruin your life. But
Absolutely.
anyway, I just wanted to say I'm not against. I would be a hypocrite if I was a professional poker player, somebody who owned an online gaming company, to say that I was against gambling. But we deliberately didn't. We got rid of all our slot machines and bingo because we turned it into pure poker. Because poker is a game where I play against you. It's a skill game. There is an element of luck, but the good player will win in the end. When I saw the amount people were losing on slots, it was horrifying. So that's just that. But if you've got self-control, some people don't. Mental health issues, exactly. You don't know what's going to drive somebody to seek solace in gambling. You can bet on Russian table tennis, ping pong tourneys, and surely. Do you know what really got me, actually? It was through the pandemic where you could bet on FIFA, people playing FIFA against each other. I just thought, God, where do we go now? Like,
probably better than even two flies racing. You know what I mean? Or flying in air, they would find a way. 100%.
I met a guy who had breast implants for a year to win $100,000 bet.
Whoa.
Yeah, in Vegas. It was mad because after he won the bet, he said like he didn't take him out. He said he's never got more attention from women than when he had a pair of boobs. It was like, people go all kinds of crazy. Mob, I've seen grown men smash monitors up. I've seen that. It's so ridiculous. But everyone I know in the world of online poker, when I was playing it, I was the only person I knew who'd never smashed my own computer. I've punched walls though.
Let your frustration out.
Rosie is a responsible gambler, except when she's suggesting bets for me. I'm bringing that back next season. Rosie's bet.
It's to take over your life. Big up, Rosie. Hope you well.
Fiver on something that's absolutely never going to happen, like Leicester beating Arsenal 6-2, and we just watched it. I got a hole in one last summer at a company tournament and quit playing right then and there. That makes sense. Like, you're not doing better than that, are you?
That's like I don't know if you remember that that lady who won one of the majors in tennis and then retired the next day. I don't know if you remember. I think she beat Serena, and she had been on the circuit for a while, and she won a major, and like whoop, and then she retired. Like, you can't.
I didn't know that, Gary.
You can't like finish your career any better than that.
Exactly. I beat Serena. Bury me now.
I think it was Serena, but it definitely was her first major and her last one, because he was like, "I'm done." And so
Dan, obviously, I know you need to fly through your chat as well. Can I ask you guys, Gary and Zanzi, and obviously in the chat, do you honestly think this season, and it has to be, either one of these trophies has to happen, are Arsenal going to win the Premier League or the Champions League? And I know you don't like with your facts. Like, I know what you said. You can't just say yes in case you've got any information from Sway. But do you honestly think, like the Zanzi, Gary, Dan, and the chat, do you honestly think Arsenal will win the Premier League this season?
If I have to put will in that sentence, and I can't say yes to that, not right now. So if it's will, can they? Yeah, will they? I'm not sure about that. And that's kind of that's why I like to say, give me the better odds, and so God, then give me the better players that you can, and that ups my odds, and then I'll be happy with the way it plays out. So if you have to keep the will in there, then I can't say yes to that. But if it's a can for me, we can win. I mean, my thing right now is I think we need to cross the line one time this season. Pick a trophy. I don't care, because I think it will help. And if we can't do that, I think questions will have to be asked.
Absolutely. And just before, I just want to say that, Gary, if we don't win the league or the champion, and if we are out the title race, say, example, we drop 5 points, 6 points behind whoever's at top at the time, by October, that is going to start putting doubt in Saka's head, which we don't want, and Declan Rice and Saliba. And I think,
can I just say something though? Because none of us have jobs. I don't know, man. I don't know what you do, but who lives in that world? None of us would want to be judged on that. If I go to work, I coach and train and manage teams of people that And you said to me, if you don't achieve this target, you're getting sacked. I've worked in those industries. I've worked in those sales places where it goes, if we used to sack the bottom performing guy from 12-man teams every 2 months.
Yeah.
And with the best will in the world, I've sacked a lot of people who I knew just got unlucky. They were really close, but it didn't come in. A deal that I sacked a guy from a really high-paying job, and literally the week after he got sacked, a deal came in that would have put him over, and it just came in the wrong side of the weekend.
Yeah.
Now you're saying if Arteta doesn't win the league, as if it's the same as saying if Arteta doesn't win the league and we finish 12th, no one in here is asking for him to stay. If Arteta misses winning the league but finishes on 101 points, goes unbeaten the entire season, scores 112 goals, do you want him sacked? Is that what you're saying? It's just like that for you.
Yeah, if we don't win a league, I want him. I'm not going to be hypocritical.
I
understand your point.
Very binary and very simple, and I don't.
But what I'm saying is, like, it's gone too far because you see, like, Hansi Flick turn up at Barcelona with a very young squad. Even at Cabrasi, it was 17-year-old.
Barcelona. I mean, I'd not heard of them before Hansi Flick turned up. I mean, you're talking about Hansi Flick's won a Sex 2, Paul. You know that, right? Hansi Flick, I'm a Bayern fan. Hansi Flick's a legend. Bayern, he turned up at Bayern, right? FC Hollywood. And the thing that he's absolutely brilliant at is building a really good environment in the team. Now, you can say Barcelona won La Liga, and that's a hell of an achievement. How many teams have won La Liga in the last 20 years?
Well, it's normally Real Madrid, Barcelona, and then Atletico shipped in.
Right, so there's 3 teams that win that league.
Yeah.
It's different.
But we can't keep saying that because it's kind of like, to me, it feels like...
I'm not trying to make a point. I'm saying my point is just that it's always... You've heard that question a lot. I've heard that question a lot. Is it time to sack Arteta? You think it is? That's your entitled.
Yeah, and I agree with people who don't want him to sack. You know what I mean?
So I'm not saying you're wrong. I never said that. I'm saying you think it's time to sack him. I don't think it's time to sack him.
Yeah,
neither of us are saying anything more about it. We're not changing our opinions. I'm not changing your opinion. You're not changing my opinion. But when you say if we don't win the league this season, it's not if we don't win the league and Arteta turns up to the North London derby in a Spurs shirt and, there's lots of other things. If we don't win the league because Arteta's done something really stupid, I get it. The reality is,
you say then if they don't win the League of Champions League, you will still keep him.
No, it's exactly what I didn't say. That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. So yeah.
No, you want the world to be really binary. If then this, then that happens, and the world isn't like that. So that's what I'm saying. So I respect your point. Then if we don't win the league or Champions League, you're then like, enough is enough. He's got to go. It's different. It's a change. It needs to be a change. I don't want to keep repeating myself. That's not what I'm saying. You're quoting me. You're misquoting me. I'm saying that I haven't got as strong an opinion as you want me to. If you want me to now, in July, answer the question, what do I do if we don't win the league? Then I have some questions for you. Did we get 100 points? You're saying you'd sack him even if he got 100 points. You'd sack him if he did something no Arsenal manager's ever done before. You'd sack him. You'd sack him if he got to the final of the Champions League and lost on penalties because Saka slipped at the last moment. You'd sack him because that's not good enough. And you'd replace him with someone who has never done what he's done. And I think to be this simple, to whittle down the whole world of sports into, if we don't win the league, he's got to go. I want to know which clubs operate like that, by the way.
A lot of Italian clubs do. If it's like AC Milan.
AC Milan sack managers if they don't win the league.
Yeah, they got rid of, is it Pinulli? Do you
know where AC Milan? I think what you're saying. I think if we wanted to have this conversation, we should do it based on facts. I think to say that AC Milan sack a manager when they don't win the league isn't quite true. It just isn't. But that's okay. I'm happy to talk about the prevalent feeling amongst Arsenal fans at the moment is that in order to be successful, you have to sack someone who isn't deemed successful enough and start all over again.
Like
Arteta has brought in an entire squad of players that are probably to some degree loyal to him.
Brilliant defence, absolute quality.
But I'm not saying that. I'm saying that every player in that squad came in because of him, with the exception of Saka, arguably Ranieri, Miles Lewis-Skelly, and Gabriel Martinelli and Saliba.
Yeah.
The rest are all players he's picked. And we are, for the first time in my memory, we are not a club that is having to fend off attacks on our players. You can say that Saliba wants to go, but he hasn't gone. He hasn't put a transfer request in. No one's going who we want to keep this summer. So all of that being said, these are positives for me. But if he doesn't win the League Cup or the league, we've got to sack him. I'm not in the board, and I'm glad that it's not a democratic process, because there's this prevalent idea right now that to be successful, you have to sack managers if they don't bring success. And it's Aston Villa have sacked more managers than anyone else, and they're not successful. Everton have sacked managers more than we have. They're not successful. Tottenham have sacked more managers, and we've had hot dinners. They're not successful.
But I'm bothered about Arsenal. That's the thing. You know, that's where I don't care about when it comes to this now. I want to just see my club win trophies. It's gone too long to win it without winning a title. Do you know what I mean?
You don't need to say that, though, do you? Like,
so I get your point. I do.
We've had this conversation now. We can say we've had it. I hear what you're saying. With all the respect that I want you to feel that I'm offering you all the respect I can, if you say something to me that you know I've heard before, it does nobody any good. You're not the first person to say it's too long now without a trophy. Everyone in this bar tonight, and whoever came into this channel, it's an Arsenal. We all know how long it's been since we last won a trophy. I can tell you every trophy we've won. I know how long it's been. When you say it's been too long for a trophy, I've heard it all before. It implies that I'm happy not winning a trophy, and that you are only happy if we win a trophy. And the world is not this binary. It's not this simple. All right.
No, I know you're not happy. I can tell, and I know, and you've got good knowledge about it.
I'm just an Arsenal fan. No, I never got promised it came with trophies. I never joined this club because they were playing good football. I'm from the area. I'm an Arsenal fan.
Yeah.
If we got relegated, I'd be an Arsenal fan.
Yeah,
when Man City fans were playing in League Two.
Yeah, Gillingham in penalties and that.
We need to sack every manager and every manager. Listen, I get it. Football is now a global entity, and lots of people around the world love football. And there are sports that are more ruthless. If you want to sack Arteta, great. Here's what my point of view is, and I think we've had this conversation first time. I'll shut up now so other people speak, but let's not rehash the same conversation. You know, like what we're trying to do. What we're trying to do here is have a grown-up situation where they're all over the emergency streams and Arsenal chats. You know what everyone's saying? Would you sack Arteta? Are you Arteta in or Arteta out? I'm Arsenal. He's my manager. Enough.
Dan, do you think we do need to complete this window with a left winger and Eze? If we signed a left winger and Eze and getting Gyökeres,
a left winger and Eze, I think it's probably not likely that we. I mean, apart from anything, Noni Madueke played the last 11 games for Chelsea on the left wing, so
I know we did.
We have already signed a left winger. Second of all, Eze and the left winger and Martinelli, I think it's getting congested. I don't realistically and pragmatically think that we are going to sign a left winger and Eze, because if we are signing a left winger and Eze, it's probably Rodrigo. And I don't think we're getting over 350 million in spend. But you know what? Everybody's entitled to their opinion. You can sack Arteta or not sack Arteta. Here's the reality. And this, you can wish it differently, but it will never be different. You don't own the club. I don't own the club. All these people bitching and complaining, and it's not what they want, are forgetting one thing. We joined Arsenal. Arsenal didn't join us. You want Arsenal to be how you want it to be. You've got one choice in life. Buy Arsenal. Convince Stan Kroenke to sell you Arsenal. Complaining about everything else isn't going to make any difference. You can sign petitions. You can do whatever you want. Arsenal Football Club is not a democracy. It does not belong to us. We don't get to decide if Arteta stays. And let me also just say this. You might have watched a lot of football, and you're obviously a person who is intelligent and has good opinions about things. But really, wouldn't you be a little bit horrified if Stan Kroenke phoned you up and said, look, I want you to make the decisions? Wouldn't there be a moment in your head where you go, actually, I'm not really qualified to do this. I don't have the experience of Mikel Arteta. I don't really know what goes into being a football manager. If Stan Kroenke phoned you up tonight and said, hey, do you want to do it? Would you say yes?
What a clue.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. That's how much expert we are. We have opinions and we're entitled to them. Like I can watch a Hollywood film and think that I would have directed it differently. I've never done that. I can watch a boxer get in a ring and go, I would have knocked that other guy out, but I've never done it. So the reality is, whilst we're all having our opinions, and I welcome everybody having their opinions.
Yeah, and I respect your, you know what I mean? Some good points, very good points.
I would sack him. I go, well, you would, but that's because you've never been a sporting director before, and you've never owned a football club before, and you've never football managed before. And so the probability that anyone's going to ask my opinion or your opinion is slim. And the reality is we live in an echo chamber of YouTube where if you look at the actual percentage of Arsenal fans who go to games that want to see Arteta out, it's tiny. But if you look on the polls on Lee Gunner's channel or all these angry, shouty places, it's a huge number. And anyone who doesn't agree with them is an Arteta sexual or a top gooner. And it becomes insulting because if your opinion is important to you, I say my opinion is important to me. And I'm not saying you're wrong. And if you say I'm wrong, I'll just say it's your opinion. The number of people who say the same thing over and over and over and over again. Arteta, it's gone too far now. It's been too long since we had trophies. Like no one's heard them say it. We've heard you say it. That's how you feel. I'm not trying to change your opinion, but I am saying stop trying to change mine. And saying the same thing over and over again ain't going to do it anyway. You're saying you're going to ask me if I would sack Arteta again.
No, I'm not going to go there. So would you be happy if Gyökeres comes in and that's it, the window's done?
No, I don't think it would be. I don't really want Gyökeres, so I'm not the guy to ask about that. I'd like to see Eze. I'd like to see someone come in. I think
we've got to sign Eze. It's like written in stars now, isn't it, to bring him back. He's got to come. We've got to get him somewhere. I don't know how we're going to get him. Could we soften it with Kivior and Nelson? I don't know if Crystal Palace will go down that route.
I think there might be the money. I mean, we were talking about 300 million, right? So,
but
I'll step back a little bit because I've rambled on enough. As far as I'm concerned, if the window closes now with Madueke and Gyökeres, it's an 8 out of 10.
I'm on a 6 if Gyökeres signs. I understand we 8 though. I get it.
It is harsh, though, don't you think? Like signing the world's most expensive keeper for 5 million, signing the Brentford captain for like 9 million, signing, an England international winger who played his blinding game last time out for England, signing the world's best or second best number 6. He's won the Euros with Spain. And then signing Europe's top scorer, and you'd give that a 6.
Yeah, just because I want to see that left foot. If we if we got Rodrigo, Lookman, or Rafael Leao, these are just examples, and we sign Eze, I am taking Arsenal's window to 9 out of 10, and I am saying we will definitely be in that conversation, winning that league.
We have to sign. Who do we sign to make it a 10? Is it Pele?
I'm staying on 9. 9's the number. I like 9. I just stay on 9.
Okay. Gary, you've been bombarded by.
Oh no, there's a lot there.
Sorry about that, Gary. Sorry about that.
No problem. No, it's fine. I like I said, I talk about what I see, and I know it's not what everybody else sees. And I've watched all my teams win, and I've seen them struggle before they've won. And this is no different. I've been around long enough to have seen Arsenal win, but I haven't been a fan long enough to actually see them win. So, I was born. Arsenal won a double, right? That's when I was born. So, but I didn't watch. I was too young to watch it when I was in England. So I was too young to watch it there. So I was born, and a couple months later we won a double. So or we had won a double at that point. But I do this because I like Arsenal. That's my team, and so I used to get mad and stuff like that because I used to watch college football religiously, like a lot of people would. And I guess as I've gotten older, I can't get too mad at my team. Like when it's over, it's over. Like the game's done, I'll wait. We'll get ready for the next one. And they're not going to do everything I want. I know that because my college team right now, the last couple of years have been really poor, and it looked like it was going to be another one like that last year. And guess what? The second half of the season, they turned it around, and it was a lot of fun to watch them see that growth. You saw little sparks of things happening, right? And And when it happens, you're like, yeah, this is why I'm here for this. It's not going to happen every year. We know this. If you've watched enough sport, you're not winning every year. Nobody's winning Champions Leagues and Premier Leagues every year. Everybody goes through a string of games, right? It's a 10-year period or so, but eventually time catches up to you. So, that's kind of where I'm at right now.
What
with
perfect
Arsenal.
time for Anthony to say I thought Gary was 57. Though.
I'm not I'm not 57, but
Big up, Anthony.
yeah,
Big
yeah.
up,
No, so that's kind of how I look at it, and that's so sometimes when I'm talking about Arsenal, people are like, well, you hate you're a top gooner, and sometimes you're like, you're a what's going on here, and it's because what. That's what the game does to you. Every other game, it's basically a chapter in a book. You get 38 chapters, and you know what? Some chapters are good, and some chapters aren't. But I'm going to keep.
You're there.
reading.
I mean, that's like most of. Yeah, I mean, we all remember celebrating trophies. I think for all the people that were going on and
Coca-Cola
about,
Cup, Chef Wednesday.
All the people go on about, like my standards or whatever, which I've had a lot of. And I think, where were you fuckers when we were when we were invincible? I was there every game. I didn't see any petitions. I didn't see us. I remember when Arsene Wenger came in, December 1997, Blackburn at home, 3-1, we got beaten. I was pissed off and all the fans around me were grumbling. There weren't massive protests. But on the radio, on the way home, I was listening to Bob Walkman, had the radio on, and they were phoning in going, he's a clown, he's a joker, he needs to fucking go. He's playing Patrick Vieira and Manu Petit in the midfield. That will never work. And then 6 months later, they were winning the World Cup with Petit scoring.
Never worked. That is one of the best midfield duo I've ever seen.
Have very strong opinions and want to shout at me and say, you don't understand, it's elite sports trophies and all that. And I think you're the same people that get it wrong all the time. At least I'm sitting here going, I have no idea. When people say to me, would you sack Arteta? I don't know. Ask me in a year's time. Right now, no. Right now, we're not sacking Arteta. We haven't just spent 300 million quid to bring in a different manager. Right? Yeah. So everyone knows that. We all know that. We could... I saw BX, who was in the things going, you can't keep running away from the Arteta conversation. I fucking can. If it's boring, I can go, you're boring, stop talking about it. Like if you say to me, we've got to talk about the weather, I have a right to go, no, I don't. Like you want to sack Arteta, he ain't getting sacked. Conversation over.
Does it bother you that we don't get to Wembley anymore? That really does bug me.
I love the question, because when do you think I started supporting Arsenal? When we were going to Wembley every year? Is that what you think? You know what, my first game was 1983.
I bet I can imagine that.
Do you know how many times in the first 10 years I was an Arsenal fan we got to Wembley?
So how many times you got to Wembley? In the
first 10 years of me being an Arsenal fan, how many times do we get to Wembley?
I'm going to say 3.
No, 4.
Maybe. 4.
2 in the same bloody year, and that was in the 10th year.
So I bet you was at 89, Mickey Thomas.
89, of course. And 89 really winds me up, because you all think George Graham's a genius. If that Mickey Thomas goal doesn't go in, that's the same as Fulham not equalising. Arteta was 1 goal away from winning the league. George Graham was 1 goal away from winning the league. It went for George Graham and it went against Arteta. Does that make one of them a prick and one of them a hero? Yes, to most people now, who will say, as if I've never heard it before, it's all about winning silverware. It's like, oh, is it? Oh, fuck, I didn't realise. Oh, shit. Well, in that case, yes, sack them all. Sack everyone. Sack you. Sack me. Sack the world until you win. And when you win, you're just happy all the time. And life is like pissing rainbows. Except the reality is, you go out, you get absolutely larruped if you win, and you go to the parade and you all mess around and you're having the time of your life, and you've got to go work on Monday, and then a couple of weeks after, look at the Liverpool fans. They're not all floating on air. Life is not just about those moments where you win, but somehow to the modern football fan, and all I say is, if it's this serious, why aren't Hull City burning effigies of their manager? Because he's never won them fucking anything. What are QPR fans doing? They just don't have standards. Like, we are God-given right to have trophies, and our standards are much higher, so we should win everything. Football's got 92 teams in it. they're not all expecting their team to be God-given right to titles. We are.
I'm not saying we've got a right. I'm definitely not saying that we ain't got a right to win anything, because that's just stupidity. No one.
Your actual question was, do I miss going to Wembley every year? And I'm like,
no. I'm just saying that on that. I'm just saying that I definitely don't.
No,
I don't think we've got right.
Your question to me was, do I miss going to Wembley? And I'm like,
yeah.
I didn't grow up going to Wembley. We went in '87. I thought it was a miracle. I thought we won a League Cup against Liverpool. That was a miracle. I then didn't see another FA Cup until the semi. I didn't go to Wembley again until 1991, where I had to watch Gascoigne put us out, right?
Yeah.
And then '93, Sheffield Wednesday twice.
Yeah.
And even those games were fucking extra time. Steve
Replay,
Morrow and Andy Linnigan
broke the nose. One of them broke the nose, didn't they?
Do I think the football I'm watching under Arteta is better than the broken nose winner of... Yeah. Also, can I just say, in the years where we were going to Wembley, right, 87, we finished 5th or 6th. 93, we were like 12th.
Yeah.
In the league.
Yeah.
Everyone talks about 93 winning Cup double because we beat Sheffield Wednesday. Fucking brilliant year, by the way. But it masks a real problem. By 94, we won the Cup Winners' Cup. And
Smudger, Alan Smith.
And that was brilliant. But where did we finish in the league? 95, we nearly got relegated. 14th, man. We were shit. So you go, do I miss Wembley? Would I swap a Wembley trip for coming second? It's a tough one. It's a tough one.
That's what I mean. That's what I'm saying, Danny. Because it's the day out. It's the vibes, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? And then you
just have a day out anyway. Like, don't rely on Arsenal to be the only reason you have a day out. Have a day out on your own. You don't need to have a day out at all.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah.
We all want to win. All Newcastle fans all want to win, and they got their day out and they got their win. Most football fans appreciate that you're not owed anything. If you're lucky, you get a final. Man City fans now expect to win everything because they got taken over by a rich person. Brilliant, well done. You know, Chelsea, it's in our DNA to be victorious because 20 years ago, a Russian oligarch didn't buy Tottenham, bought Chelsea instead, and decided that he wanted to keep his prestige high so he wasn't executed by Putin, who was trying to tap him up. All of this shit, we don't have that at Arsenal. All I think is that it isn't my job to keep having the same conversation about Mikel Arteta, even when we're in here talking about spending £300 million, buying the striker everyone wanted, buying a whole host of players that are pretty decent to augment a squad that came second 3 years in a row and got to the semi-final of the Champions League. All of this, and we're still going, would you sack Arteta? It's like, if I this room 101 for me, it's the same conversation every day. People would genuinely have this conversation with me every single... Would you sack Arteta? Do you want me to say yes? Yeah, in fact, I'd not only sack him, I'd probably pay a hitman to sack him out of a cannon. What do you want me to say? Like, it's not my job to keep having a conversation about Arteta. We've got other things to talk about. Let me ask you directly, and the last time I want to talk about it. Do you think he will be sacked before the end of this season? Do you think that he's getting...
Can I just say a few things? Is that right?
No, if you answer the question, or I'll mute you. I'm that guy. Like, just that one question is all I care about.
I think if they fall behind, say in October, that's a perfect example.
So can we talk about it in October and not until then? Because you know as well as I do that the board of a football club do not stick 300 million quid's worth of transfers into a club when they're planning to set, unless it's Man United, even they don't do it. Arteta, I think we all know, even if it's not what you want to hear, even if you wish that Arteta was gone, you ain't going anywhere. So talking about if it might piss rainbows tomorrow is pointless. There's a point where I just don't know. What it feels like is a lot of people are looking around. It's like the Brexit debate. I worked on the Brexit campaigns for the Labour Party, and the people we were talking to made it really obvious that England was going to vote out. But no one wanted to hear it. They were like, no, but it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. We're going to talk over them. And then when the vote happened, they were like, we're going to have a referendum again. And no, we're not. The people have spoken, right? There's a democracy here. The Arsenal fan base, much as people don't want to hear it, it's about 60-40 in favour of keeping Arteta. So we can just, that's it. If it went the way you want, if we sacked him, I wouldn't be having the conversation every day about we shouldn't have sacked him. I'd just live with it. So the fact that we have a conversation about things that are never going to happen, and even by your estimation, we're going to have a really tough start to the season. It's just a reality. Have you seen our fixtures? It's going to be fucking awful.
Yeah.
And the Arsenal fans who think it's a sprint and not a marathon because they've never seen us win a league will go, we've got to go. We're 6 points behind. He's got to go. And there'll be emergency meetings and shouting and ranting and people losing their shit. Except a lot of people will just be grown-ups and they go, do you know what? I watch football. I enjoy football, but it's not the end of my life if we don't win the trophy.
Yeah, and I've even said as well, if you want Champions League, Dan, I would say give that man a statue.
The statue. I think he would get a statue. I think the first Arsenal manager to win the Champions League gets a statue.
Absolutely, yeah. But I think if he goes trophyless, end of season.
But listen, we don't have. The thing is, my consistent point is, and BX said to me, "Oh, you can't keep running away from an argument." I can, because you're never going to win it, right? Like, this is the reality. You are never going to have me say, "Yeah, all right, then fuck it, let's sack him," just because you say the same. Not you. But everyone in this debate, let's be honest, says the same things. He spent a lot of money. It's been too long without a trophy. He's a nearly man. He can't get us over the line. He doesn't have I've heard it all so many times, and none of it convinced me to sack him now. And even if it had have done, I don't have that authority. So I'm just going, why are we still talking about it? Like, why does everybody want to know if I would sack Arteta or if Gary would sack Arteta? Zanzi would sack Arteta because he doesn't like the cut of his jib. He finds his haircut a little bit too... What did you say? You said it was derivative. You said it made him look like a Lego creature. But, it all gets personal. Zanti, you said it earlier. I made you say it. Yeah, when you were in Gary's pub drinking all Gary's booze.
Oh. He snuck out the window when I wasn't looking, so I don't know. I think it's your stuff that he's drinking now. So
I mean, I'd love Arteta's hair. I'd love to have a full head of hair like Arteta, but that's never.
Can I just answer Richard's question that he said earlier, which was, will we win the league? I said, right, okay, for the last 3 seasons, I didn't even think we would be challenging because I didn't think we had the team to do it. But miracles upon miracles, we came second to Man United, probably missing out 2 or 3 games. We came Man City, sorry.
Yeah.
We missed it out by 1 game. And then last season, Liverpool just romped away with it. But now this season, we're actually building a side who I think we can actually win the league. Will we win the league? I don't know.
Yeah.
No,
I'm more. I don't know. I'm probably less enthusiastic that we'll win the league than I had them for the last 3 years.
Yeah, I'm the same.
But we're building the squad who I think can definitely win the league. Will we? I don't know.
Yeah. No, I'd like to say they've learned a lot. Arsenal, the team, 3 years. First year, they started strong, finished weak. Second year, they started not so good, finished strong. This past year, they've had to basically manage everything that could go wrong in a system, in a season, in terms of players coming in slow, injuries, red cards, anything you can think of, it happened, and they still were able to get further than anybody thought. I don't think anybody thought we would get to 2 semifinals in a season where, if I told you Saka's going to be out for 3 months and Erdogan's going to be out for a couple of months, and you're going to lose Gabriel at the end of the season, and all these types of things. So I know we've learned from it. I know it's not what everybody wants to hear, but I think, once again, I'll say it again. Nobody is doing what Arteta's doing in their first 6 years except for Pep, and he was doing that with Messi. So that's not even a good comparison. I don't think we want to compare that because nobody's doing that. People say, yes, people have done it. There's maybe 3 or 4 managers who have done what people are asking Arteta to do. So I kind of feel like I know that, so I'm not going to get so mad because I know it's against the odds. I didn't want him to come because I believe I knew what the project would entail.
Yeah, same.
Arsenal needed to get back to a certain place. They needed a certain type of manager at that point. somebody who could.
I didn't
knew,
want Arsene Wenger even more.
Yeah,
I didn't want George Graham. I've
Yeah.
never wanted any of the managers, honestly.
Yeah.
I just want to quickly address this, though, because Nave said, Dan, that's bollock 60-40 favour of Mikel if you're judging it by YouTube, maybe not in the real world chat, no way. It was a number I made up, so I honestly have no idea. I would guess if you did a vote of every Arsenal season ticket holder, it would probably be in favour of Arsenal staying, but I could be wrong.
Sorry, yeah, I was going to say that one thing. What frustrates me is just kind of things where Mikel Arteta stood there at the Emirates last game of the season when we played Everton. Like we've just alluded to, Gary, just one game away from winning Premier League, and he said, "Don't be satisfied with second. Address the whole fan base because we want much more, and we're going to get it." Now you look at that and you think, "Yes." That's when I thought, "Do you know what? You're winning me over because what you're saying now, it makes me think you're going to go full ball in that transfer window, and you are going to do everything." What's needed, or even two positions, what the whole world was telling everybody, this is what Arsenal need, the commentators, pre-match, post-match, you hear it all the time with pundits. And I thought, we're going to sign a striker and a backup for Saka to take the pressure off him. And he went and signed a left-back and a centre midfield.
Who went and signed a left-back?
Arsenal, Arteta, Iraqi, Tim Lewis, Richard Garlett, Edu.
Can I ask you a question? Because you're on here and, like the rest of us kind of had this conversation before. I haven't heard your opinion yet.
Yeah.
What was Edu's job at Arsenal? What did he do?
Well, I think he had a bit of a pull. He finding players, getting players that like meeting with them.
So does Edu look for players, or does Arteta go?
Well, they were both in it apparently together. Apparently, they was working with it.
It's a fair question because you just said I wanted Arteta to go and sign players, and then he didn't. And I'm thinking, we own a company called Stat DNA, and their job is to provide analytical data for the sporting director. We also have a team of scouts around the world, and their job and their job is to find players. And there's about 60 people on the payroll in just those two teams. Then we have a contracts department, and then we have people whose job it is to sign the checks and make sure that we're in PSR, all of that. But you think it's Arteta that goes out and finds the players, and I don't know why you think that.
Because apparently he even said there was an interview. I think it was. I can't remember where I seen it, but he was saying he has got a bit of control over the players, and if he wants a certain position,
slow down. You don't remember he saw it, but he has said he has got a bit of control. Is like being a bit pregnant, right? Like if you're either in control or you're not in control. So is Arteta? Do you think that Arteta in January said, "I don't want a striker"? Or do you think that he wanted a striker?
I don't think he did, Dan. I think he was all on hopes for a
striker. But you're not basing that on anything that he said, because he said in press conferences, we need, I can quote it if you like.
Because he mentioned internal solutions, didn't he? That's what he said.
No, he said that after the transfer window. Before the transfer window, he said we need to add additional players, additional firepower, and additional ideas. He never said, I don't want to strike. But if you've got a boss at work and your boss goes, yeah, we're not buying anyone, would you do a press conference coming out and going, this club's a joke, I want a fucking striker or not? Or would you just bite your lip and get on with it? Well, look, anyway, we're talking about silly. It's just conjecture. Yeah. You're the one saying, I'm just quoting you. You said Arteta didn't go out and get the players we wanted. It's a lot on his plate, isn't there? He's coaching the first team. He's managing the coaching staff. He's overseeing the development of players. He's working with a medical team, his tactics and everything else. But while he's not too busy doing that, he is doing the job of the 60 other people that we pay to do, finding the players and going out.
That's what I'm saying. What I'm saying, I'm not just blaming it all on Arteta, but the club, even from up top, the Kroenkes, probably Josh, because Stan's just always asleep. He does not care. Someone could have put pressure on Arteta.
He doesn't care.
Josh, Stan Kroenke.
Yeah, does it bother you?
I couldn't give it.
The guy bought. He's a billionaire.
Yes, his wife is as well. I think she's involved with Walmart.
Doesn't matter. Like he just went, yeah, I want that. That's mine now.
Yeah.
Welcome to the world of billionaires. But what's that got to do with Arteta not signing a player? Like even if Arteta wanted to, he couldn't. If Arteta went like this, isn't the George Graham era where they just go right. You go and find the players you want. We have an entire. There's 90 people on the payroll whose job it is to scout players and find players and recruit players. And when they don't do their job, you go, well, Arteta didn't want a striker. And I'm like, why wouldn't he want a striker? Do you think he wanted to play Mourinho up front? Is that what was that?
I just don't know this, man. That's where my kind of side is with Arteta, and that's where we disagree on those things. But that's fine.
I haven't got an opinion. I'm asking you. I don't have an opinion. I don't know Arteta. I find it hard to believe that a man whose career is on the line, whose whole life is driven by the desire to win silverware, and who basically works very hard to do that, right? I find it hard to believe that he's going, I don't want a striker. But you and I, who have so much less knowledge than him, go, he should sign a striker. I find it hard to imagine that 90% of the fan base and all the journalists in the world are saying Arsenal need a striker. But Arteta's going, oh, I didn't think of that. What makes you think that? How comes you know we need a striker, but Arteta doesn't? What makes you smarter than Arteta?
Well, obviously, that's one thing. I'm not smarter than Arteta, but
and how comes you know it, but he doesn't know it?
But that's what I'm saying. Why someone at this club? How can Arsenal Football Club not have a striker for 3 seasons? That's not. It's just not normal.
We don't know.
Do you know what I mean?
So we can establish that we don't. We have Gabby Jesus and we have Butler. Had the Butler. I'm not arguing
which is gone.
We shouldn't have had a striker, but I'm asking you. You said you don't think Arteta wanted a striker. And my question is, therefore, how can everybody know we need a striker except the guy who, from the age of 8, was at La Masia Academy in Barcelona, surrounded by some of the world's greatest footballers, access to the greatest training staff, who as a young boy was shipped out to Paris Saint-Germain, the number one team in France, who trained alongside some of the greatest players, who was taken under the wing of, who went to Everton, who had a good, successful career since he's 8 years old till now. 30 years in football, and he doesn't see what all the people who think we should have. My mum, if you speak to her, goes, you need a striker, we need a striker. So my mum, just to be clear, was not trained at La Masia Academy, right? She barely watches football, but she knows we need a striker. But Arteta's so stupid, he doesn't know we need a striker. That's what I'm being asked to think, and I just don't think it's as simple as that. I think that maybe he and Edu fell out a little bit because Edu put all his chips in the Šeško basket last season before the tournament and didn't have a plan B. And at the last minute, Edu said, we managed to get Sterling. And I don't think, judging by how little Arteta played Sterling, that was his first choice. I think the simple thing is that if you're looking for life to be simple, and the reason we didn't sign a striker is because Arteta's stupid, it doesn't work. The model doesn't work. Because what you're asking me to believe then is that everybody else can see that we need a striker, except the man whose job is on the line if we don't win things. Because your job's not on the line. My job's not on the line. Arguably, this channel will do better the less often we win things, because the big channels do well on getting angry. All I have to do is pivot a little bit and go, it's fucking ridiculous. And we get more viewers through the door, more happy people. Will go elsewhere, possibly to Gary's bar. But the reality is, I just want you to understand, I want to welcome you, embrace you into this community and just go, nothing's ever simple. We don't do the simple. We don't say Arteta's this because we feel it. We have to think it through. And look, the other thing, the more important thing is the reason I'm having a longer conversation about Arteta than I would entirely enjoy having is because we don't keep having it, right? We're here now. You can talk about it on your channel all day long, but we've had the conversation. You think Arteta should probably be replaced. Anthony Herbert thinks that Arteta should be replaced. I'm not there yet, but maybe in 6 months I will be. But even when I am, we don't need to talk about it because I don't have any pull. I haven't got a direct line to. So it becomes one of those questions I don't hear other fan bases asking. I can't think of how Newcastle don't want to see Eddie Howe gone. Why aren't Aston Villa fans shouting for the head of Unai Emery? Why? And the reason is because we're a little bit more entitled as a fan base, and we think we have a right to expect that he should have won the league and not concede. They came bloody close, and it's actually quite difficult to do what Arteta's done. And what Gary said earlier, I think, stands out as the truth of all of this, because nobody's doing what Arteta did. He built a squad from scratch that is full of people we like. Now, when I listen to people, they hate Odegaard and they hate, I like Saliba, but I don't like Martinelli, and Jesus isn't very good, and blah, 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 blah. But I'm not that guy. I'm like, okay, do you know what? He took over. We were shit. We were banter club. We couldn't beat Frankfurt at home in front of a 2/3 full stadium. We got battered by Chelsea and Baku. Now, we don't lose to London teams. We lose 4 or 5 games a season, which is not great. I wish we were invincible every season. But he's got third 3 years in a row, which is more than Wenger was able to do. And I was a massive Wenger. And all the people that I had to live through the end of a really bad time for me in Arsenal Football Club. Wenger out, he's ruining this club. They had no respect for what he'd achieved or what he'd had to put up with. They wanted him out because they knew as soon as we get rid of Wenger, everything will be brilliant. The same people now are giving it Arteta out. They've got no idea what they want to do going forward, but what they know is they're not happy. And they're not happy if other people are happy. So if I'm sitting here going, I quite enjoy our football, not every game. Some of our games are a bit tedious. I get called an Arteta sexual. I get called a top goon. I get called all the names under the sun, and I've just got to put up with it. So I'm just saying, in here, the reason I don't talk about the Arteta in, Arteta out, is because it's been done. It's been done. It's like if you've just been told a joke 16 times and I go, do you want to hear a joke? And you go, is it the one about the avocado? And I go, yeah. You'd say no. You're not changing. No one's changed my. No one's said anything to change my mind. Nobody is likely to say something that changes my mind if they're just saying the same things that we've all heard before. So if you go, it's been too long without a trophy. He spent too much money. He's not good enough. He's never won anything. I've heard it all before. It didn't change my mind the first time. Let's accept that. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying you're right. I'm saying we disagree. We respectfully disagree, and then we don't talk about it anymore.
I think that's how it should be in all done. Like, it shouldn't be no. Like, you get some fans from both sides, and going too far with it, and it's like, if I don't agree with you, that's fine. But if you say some things, I'm like, you know what? You've got a decent point there. Do you know what I mean? That's how I think it should be, but it's not.
Anthony's gone, should Arteta try some scrumpy before games? Thoughts? Give him some of yours, definitely.
Like I said, some of those things that what you've just said, I don't agree with you, but like, that's your personal opinion. You know what I mean? And that's how it should be.
It'd be mad if you always agreed with me. I don't know what
it would be, wouldn't it? Yeah. I agree.
I have no expertise in this whatsoever, except I've been watching the club for, what is it now, 43 years?
I'm 33 years, yeah. I've been a fan 34 nearly. Yeah.
I didn't want Arsene Wenger to come in. I thought he was hopeless. I wanted Jesus instead of Alexander Isak. I've made more mistakes than anyone. I just don't know what I'm talking about, and I don't expect anyone to listen to me and change their mind. I'm not here to change.
No, your knowledge is good on Arsenal. It is. Listen, I can tell that straight away.
I don't know who scored the first goal in the Champions League. Did we ever find that out? That was a question earlier. Who was it? Zanzi, did you look it up?
No, I didn't.
I thought you were going to say Emirates, and I'm going to say that were Olaf Melbo for Villa, and then Gilberto Silva.
Yes, Gilberto Silva was first at the Emirates, which is where I said,
1-1 want it. Yeah,
I can't remember. The Champions League would be against Lens. It might have been Ray Parlour. I don't know.
Ray Parlour from
so Geeks and Muckleby, haven't said hi yet. Bloody good to see you, mate. It's become socially acceptable to destroy your club over every little wrinkle. Hate it. Feels like betrayal. Disagree. Articulate it, but constantly being negative. I like the days where you Arsenal fans just always were positive about Arsenal, even when we weren't that great on the pitch. We weren't either. Well, could be 10 points in front and people would want him sacked. True that. Nath, did you come back to me on, do you feel like it's more people want him out or fewer? Depends on who you're watching. The majority are fully behind Mikel and the team. I think that. At matches anyway. So here we go. Well, we're almost through this. Even subs questioning why Mikel's done this or that. It's why he didn't do this. You don't know what's going on in the bench training. Do you know what? Nothing illustrates that better than I did I did some inquiry. I looked into it. I did some investigation because the story came out that Berta wants Gyökeres and Arteta wants Sesko. That's never been. No one's ever come. Arteta said that isn't the case. People have come out and said it's not the case, but it becomes a story and everyone runs with it. And then they go, well, And if that's true, by the way, then I think I rate Andrea Berta less than I thought I did. Because, like, if you're the sporting director, you come into a club, you have that conversation before you join, don't you? You don't just go, right, so who do we want now that you've signed the contract? It took him 2 months to decide to come to Arsenal.
Yeah.
In that conversation, he would have gone, I want control over who we sign.
Yeah.
And I want to be part of that conversation. And if we totally disagree, if me and Arteta totally disagree, it's going to be unworkable. It'll be another Diego Simeone situation. So they would have sorted it out beforehand. They would have sat down and gone, we want to get one of these two, Šeško or Gyökeres. I think they wanted Šeško, couldn't get a deal that was in the right price because they want other players as well. And they've pivoted to Gyökeres. This idea that one of them wants one and one of them wants another. Who's the mug who hired a sporting director to work with a manager when they don't agree on anything? Like, that's just mental. But it was never challenged. It became, you heard it everywhere. People read one clip on one news aggregator and then they go, well, that's true. You have to be critical. You have to go, well, who says it's true? Where's the source? It came from a Chelsea journalist's blog post. Why would a Chelsea journalist know that Andrea Berta and... Do you think they keep that secret?
That's just that's to stir some shit up if that's the way
exactly,
it's
and it did. Because now, whoever you speak to, they go, well, Berta wanted Gyökeres, but Šeško was... And that's not true. And so it becomes, now you can see that Berta's really finally put Arteta in his place. You go, or maybe it was the other way around, or maybe they were both like, let's see who we can get. I don't know. Just silly.
I don't know on that one.
The Arsenal Misfit said, Richard Andrews, I actually live in Canada. So never saw a game live. It was televised a month later, and I remember going mental, even though I already knew who won. I love it. One of the first people I had on this stream years ago, and he, as a kid growing up, not only did he was in Australia, not only did he not get to see the matches live, he didn't see the recorded matches. He didn't see clips of matches. He used to get the newspapers sent out to him a week later, and him and his brother would fight over the newspaper to read the Arsenal reports. That's the only access, and he still fell in love with Arsenal. He still fell in love.
Wow. Even the teletext days to find out who you were signing, even that, you know.
Yeah. But even that wasn't on teletext. Lee Dixon wasn't on teletext. Lee Dixon was in the match program. I was at the game.
That's the thing about information. Information is good and information is bad. Right now,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, Gary, it is.
Information right now is bad because you get too much of it, and you got too much of it. And guess what? It's that. I don't know if you guys have that same kind of thing, but it's trying to drink from a fire hose. Guess what? Nobody can do it. You can't. No, you can't. No. You cannot take in that amount of information.
I've not heard that. I like it.
That's what happens when you're in this. That's what's going on right now. There's too much information, and you know what? It's easy to just change the narrative, right? If you like right now, if you want somebody to retweet your tweet, all you have to do is put Arsenal in it somewhere.
Yeah, no, crazy.
You know what I mean? Because that's what drives people. They think we're gonna, we respond to it, and next, it's all over the place. You just say,
it's like
it's like the magic word. If Leicester just hired their manager. The first post I saw in there was Gyökeres deal. It has it collapsed with a question.
Yeah,
and I was like, what? You play the system, and it's this. It's a what I call it. I call it like a false economy. We're just creating this back and forth of information that is virtual. It isn't actually real. It doesn't make any sense at the end of the day. It's just too much information for us to handle. We can't handle it.
Yeah,
a lot of people can't handle it.
Like, don't Friday, we all just go on news aggregators and read the first? Like if I go onto the news, I've always got it open. Arsenal news now. Arsenal man could terminate his deal to complete move to Spain. Sometimes what you get really good at is realizing what this story is going to be about before you click it, but you still have to click it anyway. And then it starts with Arsenal have long needed a striker, and you go scroll down. Berta has come in. He's blah blah blah. Yes. This isn't. None of this is news. And Ethan, when you're that's fine. And then it gets to Gyökeres deal might be off. All those sources say it isn't. And you go, this was the story. This was why I just stopped. I'm saying I've stopped. I don't do transfer daily. I just go. I don't know who's coming in. I know who I'd like to see. I'd like to see Xavi Simons. I'd like to see Ademola Lookman. But I've turned towards Eze because I think there's something about him that I really like. I think he's probably the best player in the Premier League from January to May. And I like the interviews he did. But hey, listen, I said this about Gyökeres at the start of the show. If Andrea Berta, who's been doing this for 15 years at the highest level, if the analytics company, we own an analytics company. Most clubs don't own. I mean, I know Brighton's built on an analytics company, so that's different. Brentford have access to analytics and have used it really well. We have our own analytics company that studies all the players around the world to the nth detail to provide reports on who is statistically the best signing. And we have a team of scouts and coaches that process that information with years of experience. And if they're saying Gyökeres is good, I'll fucking have it. Do you know what I mean? I'm not going to sit here and go, no, you're all wrong, you're stupid. I do feel like when I did that with Kai Havertz, it was like, I've watched Kai Havertz for 3 years at Chelsea. I just never liked him. He looks like
never jumped out and think, wow.
He doesn't care.
Yeah.
And he came to Arsenal and I saw a different side of him. And I was like, well, do you know what? Give him some credit. He's brought this out of him.
He's got better.
When we got Kai Havertz, the one thing I believe I've said multiple times is he'll do better here because we're a better team.
Yeah.
You know,
he's not amazing at one thing, but he is he does finish good sometimes, but you just want more of him. Like sometimes you think, oh, he's a bit in air. You think, get your head on that properly. Don't just jump in with centre your head. You know what I mean? Just sometimes you think, go front fall and just meet it straight on your forward, but then he'll hit it on top of his head and.
Hey, listen, one of the things, if you're going to get wound up about Kai Havertz, the one thing you can definitely get wound up at is this guy should be good at heading a ball. He should be fucking good.
That's what I'm saying, Dan. That's what I'm saying.
He's smaller than me when he was 12.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, 6'4", 6'5". That's what I'm saying.
But he has to be in the box. You guys keep forgetting that part.
I know, right?
Yes, it's all good and well that when the ball's there, he probably get his head on it.
I'm not talking about the times he is now. I'm talking about
I think those are the ones you're missing. The ones that never happened. Those are the ones.
The last 10 times he's headed a ball, and you freeze frame when the ball makes contact with him. And I said to you, put an X where that ball ends up. You couldn't do it.
Like when Newcastle, that game against Newcastle, where kind of just.
Yeah, I mean we've had some unlucky. I mean, moments like change football like that, you know.
Yeah.
I'd like to think that we're buying in some players with a bit more of a competitive winning mentality. Mm-hmm. I think when we brought in Jesus and sorry, Zandy, did I talk over you?
Sorry, no, I was going to say, who did Arsenal ever play in the first ever Champions League game?
Wasn't it Lens?
We played Dynamo Kiev.
Oh, was it
Dynamo Kiev?
October 1990. Huh?
It was 99 because it was at Wembley. We played Kiev, Lens.
No, it's 98. But it's the 98, 99 thing.
And did Andrei Shevchenko play for Dynamo Kiev then?
No.
Shevchenko was there. So was Rebrov.
Rebrov. I remember Rebrov.
Oleg Luzny was also there.
Wasn't it? Yeah, Arsenal. Yeah.
Did he get sent off?
No, Luzny was playing for Dynamo Kiev.
No, I'm saying ex-Arsenal player, and he did quite well for Arsenal as well.
Yeah.
Why do I think he got sent off? So anyway, Dynamo. So it was the first of the 3 Wembley games then.
Yep.
I know that it was a shit result.
Rebrov scored in the 90th minute to equalise.
Right. Okay. Who
in
scored
a 1-1 game?
Who scored ours?
I'll give you a choice. It was either going to be Bergkamp and Nelka, Parler, Overmars, Hughes, Lamegard, Winterburn, Keown, Dixon, Adams.
Even Hughes.
Mate. All right. Start again. So it's not Overmars. I think it might be Parler then.
It's Dennis.
Was it? No. Fucking really?
Yeah.
He's a prick as well, wasn't he? Not travelling to Europe.
Yeah,
I know.
We could have done with him in Kiev.
Absolutely.
Bloody wuss.
Rubbish.
Guys, I am going to leave if that's thank you very much for having me, Dan. And
there's no leaving.
And Zanzi, big up my friend, and Gary, big up, and Dan, thank you very much. And some very good points. Like I'm still as I am. But, you know, I appreciate how you were wording that. And I thought, yeah, that's I can see what you're saying. But it's
no
good.
one's ever changed their mind in this pub.
No. And big up chat as well. There's no, like I say, I've got different views, but there's no way I'm going to enter your stream and be all like, I am on my channel, because I kind of class that as disrespectful in a way.
You can do. I've always got my finger. I'm always ready to boot Zanzi and Gary if they say so.
Yeah.
Done. See you later.
We told you. No, you can't do that anymore.
So thank you very much, guys.
He can.
Good seeing
Smash
you.
the likes and subscribe to Dan and all the panel. Thank you very much. Take care, guys.
Okay, you too. Have a good night.
Yeah, I've got to shoot as well, mate, because my blood is going to explode in a minute.
I forgive you.
So it's been emotional.
You've been in 2 pubs in one night.
I know. Yeah, I know. It's bloody tiring.
We went to 3 pubs. He started in one, went to another one, and went back to. It's like, and the vibes have changed. When he came back.
There's no atmosphere in your pub, mate. It was dead.
Dude, I'm just trying to get it started. I needed some help.
Who's that old lady poking me anyway? What are you doing?
You know what? Oh, I tried to lock her down. She snuck out. Oh, sorry about that.
Thanks, Zanzi.
Anyway, it's been emotional. It's been wonderful, and I'll see you all later. If you be good, got to be careful. Can't be careful.
Got a quiz to do on Thursday. Don't forget.
Oh, what on?
General knowledge? I don't know. I'll let you know.
Yeah, the general knowledge. I'm good with that.
Yeah, brilliant. Thanks,
Right.
Zanzi. See you soon.
Cheers, Anthony.
I need to rattle through some of these. Nearly all the players that have signed done so because their conversation with Arteta. Players renewing because of Arteta. You literally have journalists saying only Arsenal. It's true, actually. I mean, I've never seen so many players go. I've never seen anyone that goes on strike to come to Arsenal and comes to Arsenal. We just didn't used to see it. This is Victor Gyökeres. There are a few teams who are after him. When Yeri signed his contract, I know people are saying, I know in the chat they were saying Saliba's definitely leaving. I don't know. Maybe he is, maybe he isn't. I can understand why he'd want to go to Real Madrid and be with his best friend Kylian Mbappe. It has to pull, definitely. It can change quickly anyway. If you have a really bad season, maybe they'll all want to go to Real Madrid. And maybe Real Madrid will buy our team and we'll get their cast-offs. Rich, you have been respectful. That's all people ask. Yes, that's true. Well said, Nath. Meaning the league gunners, lol. I missed the thing there. Look, Anthony's in your pub. Look at that. You're getting. I had Jonathan Pierce on Gold FM. That's how I follow games. That's so beautiful. We had you wouldn't have had that in the States, but when most games weren't on television, it was Jonathan Pierce, who's this British commentary, and he's brilliant. And he used to just, that was such a romantic way. I was so in love with Arsenal Football Club. You couldn't, if it was an away game, I had my ear pressed to the stereo, and I couldn't get it out. It was just pure love, Winning the league in 89 was brilliant. 91 was better. 98 was amazing. Some absolutely great times. Absolutely great times.
Yeah. Like I said, I was alive for all of that, but I was on the other side of the other side of the world, it seems. So I missed all of that. Like in 89, I was just finishing high school when all of that happened. So I would have missed that. And in 98, what was I doing?
89, I was 16 in 89. And it was a Friday night, but it was because of the tragedy of Hillsborough. It was much later. So every other game in English football had been played and done. And I was like the league gunner moaning. I was like Jez that day. I was like, well, it's fucking pointless, isn't it? We fucking lost to fucking Derby.
When that ball, like I've seen, I don't usually go back and watch because I didn't watch it live. You know what I mean? I hate going back sometimes and watching it again. But I watched that one, and late in that game when that ball is in the far end from the goal that we need to score on, and then
John Barnes,
I think we turned it over or something like that. I'm like, and
well,
you're like, God,
and you're run to the corner,
and
instead runs into Lee Dixon.
That's right. So you're like, you're thinking the game should be over at this point because look how far away we are from.
When you hear them talk about it, it's like he's like, well, I didn't want the ball, so I just kicked it outfield. Alan Smith's the only one with composure in that whole sequence because he does get the ball into the path of Michael Thomas, and a little bit earlier in that game. The reason it's such a resonant goal is that Michael Thomas had a chance earlier where he took too long. And Michael Thomas always had the reputation of being very at his own pace, just totally unflappable at his own pace. So in the dying seconds of the game, I mean, there was a minute left after that, right? But in the dying seconds of the game, when he's through, you live that moment in hours. It feels like hours. And my head's just going, why does it have to be him? He's going to... And then he waits. With the ice cold blood in his veins, he waits for Grobler to go down and goes over him. And I can't I can't explain what that moment is like. I can't explain it because in 1989, as a 16-year-old, I genuinely never thought I'd see us win the league. The one time before then that we'd won it was 2 years before the time that we'd won it before then was 2 years before I was born. I'm 16 years old. My uncle's gone, we'll never do a double, because he saw us win the double in 71 at Tottenham. He was at Tottenham. And I grew up with these people going like Liam Brady and the good times have gone and you'll never do it. And George Graham, well, 2-0 at Anfield. That's not possible. It's not possible. No one had done it in over 10 years. For us to go there that night and do it, it was the most amazing celebration, the most amazing, being in North London then. As soon as a goal went in, even before, it felt like before, all the cars outside our window, I lived on an estate, beep, 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 beep. And the whole of North London just went up. Me and two mates went straight to Highbury. You're just like, what the actual fuck just happened there? That was never on the cards. And if you watch Fever Pitch, I'm him. I'm going, oh, fucking typical.
Yeah.
Of course, we're not going to do it now.
That is, that game is when you hear Brunson, a chip in a chair is all you need, right?
Yeah,
you got a chance. You got a ticket to the dance. You have a chance, and guess what? That's what you need.
You as a person, because it changes. You never give up hope. So when Luca was on here that time, going, it's done. I'm going, it ain't done till it's done. I don't. As a human being, Arsenal have made me to the point where I go, never count us out.
Yeah.
Never count us out. We went to the FA Cup final in, Arteta's first season. Did you really think we were going to win that against Chelsea? Did you think we were going to get past the teams we got past? No, but we do. And sometimes we don't. And in the last 4 years, we've failed the coin tosses.
Yeah. Yeah, no. That winning that FA Cup, you looked at that there was a string of games, right? We played City, and we played. I forgot what three. I think we played City and Liverpool and somebody else in that 3 games stretch. We won, and we didn't lose any of them, if I recall. And yes, we. It was that, and then you go like you said, you go to the Chelsea game. You're like, yes, we got lucky, but we had to put the ball in the net too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, we got lucky in that game, but we had to put the ball in the net as well. We did that, and we were able to get the FA Cup. So that, like you said, I always talk about don't waste a trip, enjoy the ride, kind of thing. And that's one of those things. That's why you make sure you're there, right? If you're like all upset and turning your head to what's going on, you're gonna miss it.
Yeah,
you're gonna miss it. So
yeah, and you know what? Like life is too short anyway. I do think a lot of like I've got loads.
That's exactly when you say that. Don't waste a trip. They could be one and the same. That's kind of how I look at it. So that's
I've got friends who are Birmingham City fans, and they are the most fun.
Yeah,
they are the most fun, the most banter. But what are they supposed to cheer about? They went down 2 divisions in a row. Like it's somehow we find a way. Football is not there to give us what we can't expect to get from it. Yeah. People who enjoy football probably enjoy their lives in the same way, and I'm not here to tell people how to enjoy football, but just going to rattle through these comments because I'm conscious that you have to go, and I was going to finish about an hour ago, so night all, I'm off to bed now. I've got to say, Gary, beer is crap in here. He's unsubscribed.
What?
I know, right? No. Everybody subscribed to.
You know what? It was Zanzi with the he didn't clear the pipes for the beer. That's why it wasn't so good.
He's not. You have to remind him. Stick to your guns. Take care, Bristol's finest. Good discussion. Nathan, that we are lol. Great times. I'll still see 0-0 waiting for it to change. Bergkamp pops up 1-0. I went insane. Mate, some of the games. Mark Overmars scoring at Old Trafford. Like Nick Anelka puts the ball over to him. Mark Overmars. How did we get Mark Overmars? He's amazing. It's only Ray Parlour. That's another moment. The FA Cup against Chelsea. So there's one of the guys in the commentary team. They did this fan cam. And Tim Lovejoy, who was a Chelsea fan, Ray Parlour picks the ball up in the FA Cup final and he goes, oh, it's only Ray Parlour. And then Ray Parlour curls it beautifully into the top right-hand corner. And that was just like, oh, it's only Ray Parlour. Just so many moments. Huh? Zanzi is a legend. You're all legends. Each and every one of you. Carl Walsh, right. Sort out a movie show any day this week is perfect. We've got to do a movie show. I watched Gladiator 2, Kyle. Fuck. What a shit film that is. What was Denzel Washington? Talk to me, Carl. I'll text you. We've got to do a movie show. I've seen so many shit films recently, and I need. I know. Carl, do you know what? I'll redo it with your face on it.
I did watch that video. I like watching your videos. Yeah, they were good. They're
It's
good.
do you know what?
But you know what? I didn't get my check this time, so I'm a little confused as to did you get something mixed up, or did somebody else get my check?
Yeah, I think Zanzi's I've allowed him to do the accounting. As you know, I can't. I'm not good with money. I'm good at spending it, but he's the guy that counts it. So
I hear that.
I did. It's funny because I almost put Luca in there. I was like, and I was being a bit like, poor the people I didn't put anyone in there that I thought was, Anyway, I really enjoy the videos, but I enjoy the live stream. The videos are good in principle. You write them and you think, oh great, now all I've got to do is find video. Yeah.
I used to do the videos, and like for me, I would do my best 5 or whatever, and so I would go through and list out my best 5, and then as you go, you prep everything, get all your stats out there so you can actually make it flow. And so you pop up, the picture pops up, and you just talk about it, and it's like, I like doing that, but it takes time. It takes time, as you said, and I'm not even doing video like you. I'm just trying to prep, make sure the words come out, and they are what I think they are, and
Isn't that fitting? That's a fitting and analogous sentiment to end on, because like when I'm looking at tennis players going, why don't you just hit it the other side of the court? Or often, why didn't Mikel Arteta just get them to score a goal? Or, when I look at people like Babs14 that put content out there, I now look at content and go, shit, I know how hard it is to edit stuff.
Yeah, and he does like one video a week, I believe, and you see how many people watch it, so he's putting a lot of time into it, but a lot of people are definitely appreciative of it. They really,
but if you
really
put
like
it,
it.
this is where I always end up hating myself, because I looked at I wanted to get that video out yesterday. I didn't want it to be out today. I should have taken another couple of days and found better clips and put it together and I put it out and forgot to put background music on it. I did all of the things you shouldn't do, but I splurged it out. I just want to get this out, and I respect so much the people who are more meticulous and put more effort into it. They deserve. When you see people getting lots of views, there's not some glitch in the matrix. They're getting them because their content's good. And I'm saying that about even the people I don't like. If they've got 50,000 views on a video, that video is good. YouTube's looked at it, put it out to people. Those people have enjoyed it, watched it all the way, clicked like. I see them all the time. I see so many good content creators. I love the Canon podcast. I love Athletic. I love Tifo. I love JJ Bull. I love all of that stuff. And I just watch it and go, I wish I could do that.
When you see Tifo not picking on your team, but with some information about your team, you watch it, because they don't push your team out every week. You know what I mean? So when they do, you take a listen, because it's a totally different aspect of a different view into how people see your team, which is good, because we all need it.
I mean, I saw a brilliant tactical analysis into the strengths of Gyökeres and how he fits into Arsenal, and I was like, wow, this is levels above where I could ever be. But we're publicans of our own bars, Gary, and they can't beat us for that.
All right, I shut mine down already, or I just blew it up. I can't remember which one it was. I hit a button and I don't know what happened.
Well, now suddenly they'll all come in. I better open up again. Happy hour. Chris, I just want to read some of these out, and then we're done. I never saw Liverpool win the league 27-year wait due to COVID. Season was delayed, so they picked up the trophy on my birthday, which would normally have been season best present ever. That is incredible. I don't remember Liverpool fans getting so irate about it, but maybe I'm just not in that space. Nath, Mob, only time I've seen is if he accidentally slips into my algorithm and that button says do not recommend. Yeah, I press that, mate. Mob, only time I see Lee. Oh, Lee, right, yeah. Mob Boss, big up, bro. Happy with Gyökeres. Let's see what happens, but I'm confident we won't. I'm not confident we win anything again. I'm not. But Carl, we're on the same page. We might do a bit of football chat when we're talking about films as well. But let me know. I will text you, because I've really, really been thinking about doing a film show for ages. With the videos doing well, mate, you've stirred them up. Brilliant. Brilliant. I really love the comments as well. Thank you so much. It always hugely appreciated. Carl, I'll answer for Danny. Said he would so delighted to. Good sir, looks forward to it very much. Kiss, kiss. His words, not mine. Shocking film, isn't it? It's fucking dreadful. Sharks in the fucking Colosseum. I couldn't bear that film. I play that in Guantanamo. Carl was can't right. So I'm sorry, I'm keeping everyone up. Big up, Carl. So good night. See you. Slags. Hopefully, Slags and Dark at 8:30 on Thursday. I'm on again at 10:30. When are you next on, Gary?
I'll be back on Saturday for the road trip.
3 o'clock.
Yep, 3 o'clock. Check it out.
Not only am I going to check it out, but I'm going to be number one in the comments again.
Oh yes, let's do that.
I love it. I don't know how you turned it on. I get really into it. I'm like, hang on, fucking more comments.
You know what? The problem with me is I'm usually working when I'm watching a lot of shows. So I like say hello, and then that's it because I'm just listening. So like every once in a while, I'm like, I'll have to type. But yeah.
Yours is one of the only ones that because it's because I've been on holiday as well. So being on holiday was like great. I was in the pool and I was typing away on the thing and I was doing the odd length in between, but it was great. Absolutely loved it. Especially Mr. Tom on there. I really look forward to Saturday's road trip. Hopefully we have you here on the quiz on Thursday. Kyle, get in touch. We're going to do it. We're going to talk films. And thank you, everybody in the chat, so much for being here. It's been another hugely enjoyable one, gone on a bit long. So be lucky. Lots of love. Oh, I've got to play an outro. Let's do this.